Oh, what are we? Oh.
That's not how it works.
I didn't say the script yet.
Okay, well, we don't want to know the script, but let's look at the script for Vitality. Well, thank you for that one. If they lose, then you're in a different dimension at this point.
All right.
Vitality specifically is one of the teams that they started off.
I want to at least get this also going.
They did good, then not,
just
then they're
in
back
case.
again, and what are we making of this?
To.
You know, with teams, when it comes to like performances in a league like this, where they beat the teams that they should be beating, and they lose to the teams that are just gradually better than them, have more star power, it feels like Vitality is the opposite. I think the result against Team Liquid and Koi in the Super Week was tremendous for them. Yeah. Really good start. They lose to FUT Esports, which are again another top contender. You don't want to take anything away, but since then, losing to like BBL and Navi, only beating Carmen Core since week 1.
Yeah.
You have to start
They looked good in week 1 too, chat. Oh. It hurts.
The players, the squads, the system that they have in place. But there are some games like against BBL you expected to see more, because not only did Vitality lose, they looked pretty awful doing so.
Exactly, right? This is BBL. This is a team that previously subbed out their coach and got a new one in there, their assistant coach getting into that role. Besides that, also coming in with no single win, losing against Corman Corp. It's kind of crazy. And
but do they, so do we think they pull it off?
You see, on the left-hand side, okay, how does it look for Twisted when he wins? Perfect, 252 ACS. The man is absolutely great.
It would be such a imagine if they bounce back,
particularly important, I'm sure there's a 0 missing. First deaths per round is 0.09.
Imagine, chat.
Quite a heavy one, to be honest. But most importantly, right, his performances when they lose, it's a hit or miss. Versus BBL, he finished with 120 ACS, absolutely getting diffed. Versus Fnatic, he looked decent.
Yeah, speaking of the permutations or the loss, really, if they lose today, where do they stand? We have some other stats that we can throw your way in that regards. And when they do pop up, we'll talk about those. But as of now, you predicted Vitality to win.
No.
If they do, and no, you did. And if they do, it's 96% locked in.
And there's still like a fair few difficult games.
So
if
Vitality
win, I think
win.
it boils down to, generally speaking, Vitality need one more win to secure themselves through the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Against Fnatic, it'd be a tough one, but it's not doom and gloom completely if Vitality end up losing this. It's just more with teams like PBL and stuff pushing forward. And looking
I mean, so Vitality doesn't need a win here, but they need to look solid, right? Like, I think that's fair to say.
Crazy considering right now that, you know, they still have a few tough ones, right? It's Giants coming up after that. I'm not so sure, man.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at the map veto as well in terms of what we can be
what are we getting for map, baby?
Up in the mix, and is that one of the things that we're going to be having?
I'm trying to work out which of the two teams. Okay, so it's Fnatic to ban Pearl. That makes a lot of sense. So Fracture's taken out because Vitality would typically take out Pearl themselves, so they get to get rid of a map that they've struggled on.
So Haven's picked.
Fnatic have their new home of Haven. Doesn't look that much different.
Not a big surprise, is it? I mean, this is one of their 2 best maps when we're considering ever since they have the core of Dirk, Boast, and Alpha Yair. So that's actually, I think, them being quite happy. I don't know, he's already writing a tweet, I guess. But we get Bind.
Vitality picked Bind. You saw the smirk on Salah's face right at the start, just as he's about to relieve it. This is always super fun. Just watching.
He got something cooking. The man has been in the
kitchen.
I know, freestyle machine.
Is that what, captain and coach?
As long as it's not bad as the stew that you cooked last time on stream. Where
is that how they do it?
Brilliant. All right, it was miraculous. Look at where Liquid is.
I thought Split would be an option for Vitality, really, because it's been a common second ban for Fnatic. So the fact that Vitality are going to bind is maybe a bit of a Hail Mary. A sense taken out, which leaves us with Lotus for the last 2 teams. But this must be a bit of a surprise. If you're Fnatic and you're expecting this map pull up to Haven, you maybe expect the Split and you're preparing for that. So the fact that Vitality have just come out and gone, yeah, we're going to play the new version of Bind and throw that against you. A team that has been very good on Bind up until it was taken out of the map pool with Fnatic, obviously with a stronger roster that won lock in 2. It kind of... Vitality must have an idea on what they're doing here. Otherwise, it's a risky move to go here.
It is a really risky move, and particularly considering that they're starting on defense might be a little bit of a thing where recently we've seen them in some micro decisions really struggling, which I didn't like a lot. Their reflex has been looking good, right? The coordination when an enemy is hitting a site quite fast was all right to me, but at the same time, you know, I think there's been one thing proven. You can play, you can have your best map. We considered Haven was a great map for Vitality, right? But either way, when you play against Fnatic, this is where the problems come in.
it's also like Haven
I always get so
being the first
confused
map
when
with something of Vitality. I think it's their most common pick that we've seen throughout the year. But they've had losses
here.
to
I think I want
Foot.
this here.
We've seen losses against BBL. The compositions sort of pretty much matching up. The only major difference is Boaster wanting to play on the Astra mod and the Omen, which obviously you're a big fan of, Zesh, because you're an Astra
Are we
player.
expecting the Astra this time around?
Probably not, right?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That
Pretty much.
But
Fair
also
enough.
just how much the Astra utility can help them when it's paired up for the Breach Stun, for example. Using
that's
utility
fair.
off the back of Killjoy. Alarm bots and turrets that are placed down. Just the amount of information that Fnatic can get and the protocol set off the back of them getting intel is really impactful.
Trying to think
and
about if I
think
need
the
anything
Astra
else up on
helps
this
them
other
there.
monitor.
For Vitality, it's that attacking side that looks a bit awkward when they play them
yeah,
with
it's good there.
Leviathan at lock-in. As soon as Leviathan prodded them a little bit on attack, they panicked. Because this is a team that wants to roam around the map, try and find space and exploit it. They don't really go in with like a set execute or game plan. They're like, oh, we got to pick A, let's all go there. It's just a mid-round calling that we expect from Bone Cold, but it can be exploited when they overheat a little bit.
I'm
But this is
already
the
almost out of my
problem with
monster.
Fnatic, right? Particularly, or the great thing about Fnatic is that they
tough.
rely so a lot in their defensive side. You might just see them 4 players pushing out of A, you know, too short, too long. That kind of might happen. They might be peeking out of long with Durka holding that angle so well. Where's the freedom?
Oh,
that
let's drop
Vitality wants?
Liquipedia
It
up
might
here,
not be
actually.
that present, and this is where I'm worried as Vitality.
So I can look
teams
around
have
at some
quite
shit.
a solid and strong game plan, because the default of Fnatic, you can easily break through that.
I mean, with the coaching staff as well and Vitality, I think a lot of expectations are on the line in terms of how they're going to be performing on this map. Are we hopeful?
Yes, yes, come on, say
So we have
yes.
Haven,
Vitality.
Bind,
Yes, say yes.
Lotus.
I don't think so.
Oh, come on.
I think they
Don't
lose
get
it.
pressured into
I
it.
just want to see them look better than they did against BBL.
We
do
that's
have
a very,
Bind
like,
back.
low bar that they need to excel. But I do think that this is the kind of team that's going to push on.
So
and
we
try
got
and be-
Bind back.
They rise
Hell
up
yeah.
to the occasion
I
against
love
stronger
that.
teams. So this could be a good chance for them.
Well, a lot on the line for both of these teams, not so much for Fnatic, to be completely honest, but we're going to be heading in, seeing the players walk on stage. Vitality up against Fnatic coming up.
Yeah.
Team Vitality.
All right, Fnatic looking to go undefeated still. Vitality, man, really need to keep their season alive here. I don't want to say they're in a do or die situation. Feels like they are just about there, though, don't they? All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit, I think.
Golden Hornets making quite some noise, but so are the Fnatic fans. I wonder which one's gonna be louder, but leave it to Fnatic to have some pretty lovely
All right,
vibes
all right,
when they
all
walk
right,
onto
champ.
the stage.
They have a pretty
Hopefully
big
everyone's
audience
having
there
themselves a
already in Berlin, so
fantastic
now that
Wednesday,
they're
man.
in perfect form so far.
Oh,
You
you
can't
know what I
really
should
follow how
probably do?
Fnatic have been playing. They have a game in hand as well.
Put
because
that
of
on
sickness
live in
previous
Discord.
weeks.
Yeah.
It's still
Speaking
they're
of
the team
Discord?
that they're gunning for. Fnatic, they have a lot of people working towards them. And Vitality.
Is anyone in here that's not part of the Discord? Feel free to hop up in there, say what's up.
Win out the series, but did have moments where they look strong. You will never see a more coin flippy team than Vitality.
Yeah.
If they it comes down to if they get the first kill, they're usually one of the best teams to close out those rounds and snowball with it. But if they lose a player early, they look out of options in a lot of cases. So I'm worried that Vitality are going to lose like Twisted in early fights, and then the rest of the teams don't know how to make a play off the back of him not being present.
And especially, as you mentioned, this being so coin flipped on the Vitality side, I would say the absolute opposite of Fnatic. You know, it's a redundant thing, but they are some of the most consistent team we're seeing with the least mistakes.
Yeah, well, it looks like exactly what we expected in terms of Asian Select has been coming through. How excited are you about the Astra, Zesh?
Always. I mean, it's a classic pick, right? And so far, so good. No big changes that we're seeing.
So
on
we
any of
got
the side. Bone Cold actually is swapping over, Ryan. There's a slight adjustment.
Yeah, they've actually changed over to have Destrian over on the Sova, and Bone Cold is now on the Omen. So a bit of a role switch. The comp is near enough exactly the same, but there is a bit of a change from Vitality when it comes to
I wonder
expectations of what they should be
why.
playing.
And this is, I think, so important because one thing I've noticed with Destrian on a variety of maps,
what's the point?
he has a bit of a struggle from time to time.
Just to try and kind of switch up things a little bit.
And the right
You would imagine they've got to be.
And I think Bone Cold being in charge of that as a controller, as an IGL, might be the right move and the right swap in this.
Yeah, I think having the IGL on controller, it makes the most sense. Destrian is also an initiated player by trade, so it feels like there's a bit of a change that might sort of make Fnatic a bit more awkward, but Fnatic's attacking side is so good. They know that the defenders are
pretty well, again, identical compositions.
Bait them into it.
Only difference is the Astra for the Omen.
So they're going to try and fight for that space, make sure that the attackers either back off or they go there with lower numbers. Fnatic's very good at taking that and using it against them like they did against Liquid. Forcing Liquid to push into them, they win the fight, then it's a much easier post-plant and retake from them.
Well, a little bit of
Yo, what up, Burkon? I've been doing YouTube for like watch parties and stuff.
More success in terms of the
which has really been mostly what I've been doing recently.
Yeah, coin flip I think is a very good. I mean, coin flip is a little
since
hard
I've been mostly doing
50-50,
you know,
but I personally believe
esports stuff, trying to kind of expand my Cassie brain. How the hell you been, brother?
But at the end of the day, one thing that they still need to prove is that they can beat world-class teams. Against Navi, never picked up a win. Against Fnatic, didn't even have the chance. So those are the top tier of our region. I personally believe it's about time that they show us that they can beat them and get themselves a victory that is so crucial for their rating.
When most of this team was on London United last year, they were always underdogs. They always rose to the occasions and had some upsets. But now Vitality, bigger expectations, bigger squad, and now they're up against a massive opponent in Fnatic. Yeah,
absolutely. Fnatic up against Vitality. Both of these teams looking to increase their chance of getting locked in. I mean, although we already said Fnatic with 100%. We're going to be heading over to our
good, man. We were on the desk for some Apex Rising. So it's a charity program.
Thank you so much. A fantastic game here in week 6. Always happy to be seeing Fnatic.
Last weekend? Last weekend?
Especially with Bind coming up. The curious part for me
this coming weekend is
I think we revisit that maybe.
Not this weekend up, but the following is Rocket League starting up with the new split. Hopefully I should be on the desk for some main broadcast for that as well. So, you know, just got to stay persistent.
To then be needing a result. We keep touching on this. A couple of the teams.
Did I see that you're back to competing?
Fnatic or Navi early on, but now actually with the history and some of these results behind them for Vitality. Last couple of weeks we've been thinking, we need
you being
to
a filthy boy.
Now they need to come out against Fnatic today in terrific form and show us something.
Yeah, it's a really tall task, not an easy
a
concept
super
by
threat.
any means, but Vitality has
Did I see that right?
firepower, hopefully feeling a little bit better than they were before. You saw last time they were a little bit feeling out of sorts. Hopefully they are ready to go today because this is no easy opponent. Fnatic sitting in that first place, untouched thus far. Formidable form. Looking how they
I'm actually going to
going forward. Let's dive into it. On to the game
this
itself.
summer.
Dirk has made it out
Actually, next month.
Socials.
Yo, Virgo with the sub. Appreciate you, bro.
It might be the tried and tested. That's the top side. Dirk.
The surgery's changed nothing. He's got a second as well. Dirk.
Fnatic got a spike down.
Already. Hate that knife. However, Twist and Bone Cold and Sender.
Sender needed to get that off the first peak.
Tough to really crack back through here because Fnatic have been allowed to reset fully. Lots to deal with here. Dirk continuing. Finds his third on the round now.
Dirk is so filthy, bro.
He actually is in a real position to do some damage.
He's about to ace this.
Yeah, we know the Vitality is style. Give him the ace.
Oh, no,
he's not.
Oh,
wow. The surgery was not successful. The man absolutely demolishing Vitality round 1. And, well, Vitality's woes in pistol rounds continue, sadly, but you can't take much away from what Dirk has been up to.
I mean, that is a ridiculous opener to find as well. I said time and time again, we see them prioritize towards B. It's very, very vanilla, this cut and dry approach. Fantastic start for the boys.
Oh, but I was saying I'm going to be going to Kansas City next month for LAN Fest. I'm hoping to get some work while I'm out there, but if not, we'll just be out there vibing regardless.
One of our wonderful stylists is actually sitting in the audience today. I think she's trying to explain the game to her parents potentially or a friend here. But but it's good to see everyone turning out. I know the Fnatic fans turn up in numbers, so...
Fully packed on that side.
Yeah, it is. Vitality, hey, they got some decent numbers.
No flag, though. I'm concerned
no,
there's no
where's
flag
the flag?
over there.
Where's the flag? Come on now.
But next weekend will be
Talk about ult progress. Dirk is just knocking
Sub-Saharan
So no
RLCS. So we'll either do
anything to write home
a
about,
team
whether
stream
that
on
actually
Friday and then
seems to
nothing, or we'll be
prioritise
part of the
getting
main
that
broadcast at some
online.
point in the weekend. We'll have to wait and
Does have a
see.
Phantom, so don't really want to see him
Placing swamp grenade.
at least fully opening, but at least he's, I mean, 1 kill and a death. Obviously, he's still going to have it regardless. Mosey going to get stunned up here. And it's cleared with a dash as well.
Nice. Oh, God. This is
Just gotta
actually quite
keep
hard
being
to watch so
persistent,
far.
man. I feel like
Dirk is in
we keep
wonderful
getting
form.
good feedback.
Again,
You know what I mean? Just gotta make
can't
sure we
really say
don't
too much about it. This guy is arguably one of the best in the game. Alpha not so happy about that. Funny enough,
Give up.
Twiston with a shorty. Who'd have thunk it?
We'll
Yeah.
find our spot some
Trademark.
point, you know?
Will be
Oh,
cleared
yep,
here,
able
at
to
least
force
with
him
the
out.
aftershock.
Nice.
Destrian will actually remove Durka. Now,
Able to make it somewhat expensive. You'd like one more kill? No.
available, but not going to be able to get much done with it at all. 3 left standing. Durka already on that Blade Storm.
Yeah.
To be able to offset this, a comfortable position to be in here for the bonus round. But starting off 7-1 here for Durka. Hey, talk about, I mean, we had this conversation obviously last week with Twiston having a couple of isolated poor performances.
Yes.
Then last week with actually overall, bigger picture-wise, Vitality's inability to capitalize on the work he can get done.
Yeah.
And here it's a very, very tough head-to-head. I mean,
It is. It's the toughest.
Yo, Burkon,
yeah, also, I mean, back-to-back weeks you go off against.
what
CS
other
and then you go
games you've been
against
playing
Durka
recently? You're just mostly back to
You're
DBD
not-
now.
If you come out even standing, it's
Yeah.
impressive. A rough one for Twiston, who has been, you know, turning a couple of heads.
What's
He's
a close
certainly had
round?
Performances, and that's going to be a
Oh.
horrible surprise. They go so right for Twiston. Fighting all 3, Durka, Leo, and Chronicle all go down.
We must have heard us.
Apparently so. He's up to the challenge today, apparently. 8 HP, but he can rescind, he can fall back. Sender through smoke as well. Barely seeing half of these kills, but if that's how you get them, you get them. Alpha, a 1v5.
I'll be honest, I don't like playing
Not gonna happen. Twiston, lovely.
like
round for him.
tactical shooters, but I
Again,
love
confidence
watching
building.
them. I don't know why.
Perfect.
Absolutely. He's a player that thrives on that, you know, riding the wave in terms of the momentum. It's just unfortunately, some of these
Warzone.
series
I
from
think everyone else
Vitality
is leaving
not being
Warzone.
there. And don't get me wrong, this guy's been putting up numbers.
Oh, he has been.
I had
He
this
has
conversation with Zesh back and forth earlier on, and it's like the problem lies a little deeper with where Vitality are able to capitalize on that, convert that into, you know, total site control, comfortably finding a post-plant position. Any of these other issues we've seen crop up, because I think even thinking back series prior to that as well, in terms of head-to-heads across the entire 5-man roster of BBL, Twiston didn't come out on top in one head-to-head. I'm not just talking opening duels, I'm talking overall.
A lot resting on that man's shoulders for this team, but there are
Plutonium
other players that do obviously have far more
zombies.
impact as well, because that potential with Vitality is there. Currently sitting in
Is that a
6th place.
game mode? Is that
on
just like
cusp,
zombies, I'm
but
guessing?
This was going to be
Or is that like a whole
one of
new
the
game?
toughest segments of the league. Na'Vi, Fnatic, sure, but again, just starting to get into a very precarious position overall.
See, after noting this utility, I see the ping come out from Sender towards Sewers and towards A-Long.
Careful.
The Fnatic have actually regrouped here. Big information there. I think spotting at least 4 members of Fnatic. But Fnatic able to capitalize. As soon as they're spotted, it's going to flood towards site here. Some damage done towards Sender, and Vitality right now completely locked out of this.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
no access.
It's
by
Call of
any
Duty. Okay, I go.
Now it starts to get a little interesting. What do they have to work it back in with? Now they do have a little bit of utility, right? Molsey's got most of his. Bone Cold's got a fair amount. Smoke about to be invested. Twiston still sitting full kit. And Destry not far off either. So this retake should have some legs to it. None of it really lands though. It's just the trade that's come in so far. And with Chronicle still putting up numbers, Vitality looking a little rough on the edges here. Bone Cold needs more, gets more, much better. Can they
See,
displace
it's a
the
good
final
round here
player?
to win.
It's Alpha in a 1v3, and that defuse is going to be his biggest problem so far. First challenge found. Oh, he denied the attempt.
All right, so it's
But the defuse will
2-2.
be picked up by Sender, and Vitality actually managed to navigate
Vitality
that
will be able to
retake.
rebuy their round. I don't think they can
Actually
rebuy on
shown by
Fnatic,
Alpha,
right?
Yeah, they're on long.
I don't think.
Unlucky not to find the other, but a perfect swing from Sender.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people
Like I say, yeah, Chronicle
talking about how the
actually
main
finds his
game's
first kill to Twiston to kind of
dying
remove the
very
punch from
quickly.
this retake, but after that,
which is unfortunate.
Comes through. Minus 2 kills. Destrian also.
Really
things
nice,
just kind of collapse very quickly for Fnatic there.
Very nice. That round has at least unlocked the
2 ults
now.
on
That's really
ult
how
on either
Twister-
side. That's it.
See how that dynamic works in this. By shaky at best for Fnatic. Bits and pieces.
I need an alarm bot here. That's, I mean, technically Molesy playing contact off it.
So what? You're just playing single player on it, or what?
Actually find themselves
How does that
in,
work?
We'll actually spot out Molesy's position. And time again, we see Fnatic not smoke both sides of this. They want the opportunity to take that opening duel. Up to
big
Fury
tag.
here, though. And Twisted finds a kill as well.
Yeah, very nice. The timing. Oh,
Sender,
the
nice.
game.
Sender.
Perfect on the push as well. Boaster punished, leaving Leo
Sender
with
turns a corner.
such an undesirable weapon, but makes the most of it for one. Cannot go any further. Brilliant hold there from Vitality. Sight, all Fanatics, fantastic. But then all of the response coming back in was unanimous almost.
Vitality are happy to give up sites like this. I mean, especially here, so quickly finding Alpha here is obviously a problem for Fnatic. The problem is, I mean, you're going to struggle to find value in these lurks.
But if it's offline, I guess you have to connect
and they're happy
through.
to play a 5-man retake,
Just
then
how
they
then?
have a body they can leave an extra 10 to 15 seconds on either extremity just to pick up Alpha yet.
I do want to see how this continues, because you'll never catch us saying that Fnatic won't have a plan. It's not even called for a timeout just yet. Maybe if this one starts to go a little awry, or they don't have any answers, you could see them pump the brakes. As it stands, let's see how they approach this one now. Good purchase by them. Chronicle does have his ult. Alpha 1 away as well, so a couple of key pieces to implement. And Twiston gonna let a shot fly, so position will be considered.
Optimistic, but looking for the
So
wall
Tech
towards A
supposedly
lobby there.
Very
has
optimistic.
an announcement. Is there anything on Liquipedia?
You won't get it unless you try. Vitality's saying so deep on this though. Yeah, okay, so Destrian,
No,
well
nothing
aware
on
of at least
Liquipedia.
quite a large amount of the intent from Fnatic, getting that contact towards long. Not sure how much he's seen.
And what's key is here, Molesy and Destrian, neither of them have used any utility just yet. And actually with the lockdown in the back pocket for Sender, he's got no mollies invested just yet elsewhere on the map.
Wow.
So there's lots available for Vitality here.
Oh, so the custom
Will
servers
get this
are
in.
still online. You just basically
be
have to
going
be
ahead of
connected
this.
with your friends prior to, like, there's
Good
no
information,
matchmaking,
actually.
essentially.
Lovely work there for Destrian, but he actually loses out. The spam from Boaster was
Sorry
on
if
the
I
money,
sound like an old man and don't get
Twiston
it.
not able to
But
find anyone
I
over the wall.
sound
So
like an
now-
old man and I don't get it.
That was a bit interesting.
Sender considering,
He's thinking about it, but
I mean, at this point, yeah, 3v5, it doesn't feel comfortable to throw such a huge ultimate into a round like this. Durka will actually remove his head.
okay.
Response is there, but Twiston tagged up already. Shock Dart will bring him down to 60 HP, and with the Operator, it's not going to feel feasible here for Vitality to fully commit to this. Or maybe stunned to catch somebody else.
All right, but Vitality has enough money, right? They'll be fine to reinvest this next round.
Mozzie's got it, but
Don't think you can get back
Able
against
to
the Ivy, but
save
they get
one
the money
rifle on the side of Vitality as well.
Destrian's going to be able to drop one across at least.
oh, close.
Doesn't retrieve, but yeah, like I said, there's money elsewhere on the side of
Gotcha, as long as you know, like, the server name to search or whatever.
that lurk or the flank. Obviously, the other side of things by Alpha yet. And I'll be honest, it's kills like that that do completely disrupt the game plan of Vitality.
100%.
You lose somebody like that ahead of time. It's the
You remember
smokes,
what? You know what
paranoia,
custom
it
games
makes it so
used to be
difficult
banging? Man,
You
back in the
actually,
StarCraft
utilize
days.
all of
Not
these
even
tools at their
StarCraft 2,
disposal,
StarCraft.
which
Well,
is the plan from the get-go.
that might really age
Here,
me,
we're gonna
but
see
like the StarCraft
only
custom
the recon
games back in the
invested,
day,
there's no front line
oh.
on the back of it. This is just to try and post up, create some pressure here. Oh, slight
Twiston.
adaptation.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
a leg?
out-drone here to... maybe things like this are what Vitality are going to employ to
Different
catch them off
game
guard.
variations and stuff.
If it burns a little more utility on the way in, not too bad. Twiston, he's certainly looking dangerous. But there is that tipping point he will have to rescind and fall back, right? But when is that?
Well, conversely, there's actually 3 players posted up on site here for Vitality, so maybe even considering this reclearance towards sewers.
And it is an isolated player. Boaster is so vulnerable right now. They have no idea of it. Molzy. Yeah, okay, he's got Boaster
Yeah,
down.
just good old customs in
Paranoid
general.
did go through. It's not going to catch because Boaster fell ahead of it,
They
but
can't
that's
follow
fine.
through on this, though.
No, they've had to pause.
Yeah. So now really looking towards, I mean, either Durka at 47 HP, now finding an N2.
I remember StarCraft on, what was it, the N64? I think it came out
there's
for?
a little bit of awareness going, okay, there's
Is
no
that right?
one,
I remember it came out for a console.
This is really nicely done. Even just trying to find Boaster or whoever it was in Sewer, isolate that kill, but it still puts pressure on Sender. He's not out of the woods by any means. Yeah, stunned up, has to fall away from the site. This does then kind of lean back into maybe that retake. Lockdown going to come in. Actually, that throws a bit of a problem.
Oh!
He's destroying them.
And he gets the lockdown. Oh, brother.
Alpha strides in, kicks down the door, and takes 2 to 3 with him.
And Molzy knows that the lockdown's
so
broken, kind of has to
ridiculous
just...
again, there's no real requirement for them to swing through window there. Just let the lockdown tick away. There's 14 seconds left on the clock. God, Twister's tagged up on the recon. What a recovery by Fnatic. I mean, barely breaking.
Those are the good old days, man.
Towards C-site.
It's just like the new Diablo that's coming out. Like, I avoided it
Alpha,
because I know I would get way too much nostalgia playing it. You know?
I'm not sure of the exact time of actually when the lockdown goes down, but yeah. See, look here. 11 seconds left on the lockdown, 13 seconds left on the clock. And there's 2 swinging towards committing to retake Garage so early.
We're both oldies. Good. You're good.
It's
okay, your secret's safe with me.
Rounds that you're thinking, God, we did everything right early rounds.
Yeah.
And then that one little mistake. But against Fnatic, you can't make those little mistakes. They will find the value in it. And they exploited it very well there. Now, let's turn our attention back to the round at hand. Operator still into play for Twiston. Money's starting to become far more robust for Fnatic, however. The challenge looks like it's towards Sender. He's in danger.
I was going to say, Sender has to get out of this
Careful, the paranoia.
Durka's just so good, bro. Oh, my goodness.
Winning everything they do. Even he's surprised.
Laughing.
The last round was ridiculous for Alpha to get 2 in that. And then Durka's gone, I fancy a bit myself.
Just 2 ridiculous sequences in Garage back to back for Fnatic. And now, at least hints of that game plan starting to crumble for Vitality.
It's like Vercon, I know that it's a very stiff scene, like in the Super Smash Brother days, but I've kind of thought about trying to dip my feet into it, just because I remember like Super Smash going over the homies. Oh my goodness, Durka, come on, bro.
Cat's out on the minimap there. I think, yeah, it's garbage time. They're looking to try and save, but Durka wanted his second.
One's not enough for that, man. God. And this is the game that breaks your heart for a Vitality fan and the players, right?
It's hard. Yeah. Well, I say that the second kill's heartbreaking there. The third, even more so.
He's just shitting on them, bro.
That was our VIP.
There she is, chilling out up there. The slow clap. She's ignoring us now. She's busy. Oh, God.
I was going to say, I'm curious now if the response becomes dig your heels in and fight very, very early on. I mean, they trade off Twiston and Durka here, so you got to argue maybe it's a win for Vitality in that respect.
I'll take that, maybe.
Problem being now, actually, if they do get themselves into a post plant, there's a Hunter's Fury, there's a lockdown available for Fnatic.
See, I didn't really get into Siege much.
Some utility here and there, but...
You know Flogi,
Molzy's got no flashes after
right, Bergon? He played a lot of
line.
Siege. He still plays some Siege.
They are re-clearing Sewer, which I like, but even then it's still behind the curve, right? It's still, the timing is so far away still.
But they don't catch anybody drifting away from that side. There's no confirmation.
So it's just poor old Sender, once again, having to deal with so much pressure through Garage. They've been battered in this area.
Nice paranoia.
Nice play. Oh, I thought Sender was about to get that dub. I ain't gonna lie.
Only able to isolate Alpha.
I really thought Sender was gonna get that dub.
Bone Cold still
he doesn't see Leo. I think he did, right?
Cole's got utility in hand. He's just put it away. The timing's everything. Does great on one. Can he keep his life? Yes. Oh, snap! Right back to it. Bone Cold finds the fight on Longbow. And now 1v2. Chronicle, what can you do in this? Your team has just clutched up so many rounds, but 10 seconds. He has to make a move fast. He's got the B site available.
Free plant here, technically.
Yeah, okay. He's got the plant. A little bit of util as well. Can he find a free
fight?
fight?
Line back in like 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah, it's back now. Does have the aftershock as well, but he wants to take an open duel here.
Have you tried playing like this, like other
They need to try and work in unison.
tactical shooters?
Chronicle, another fair fight here.
CS2's about to drop.
This is a mistake and a half.
Valorant.
Chronicle now in the 1v1. He's got to read this. Surely, Bone Cold needs to make wonders out of this. No paranoia. Smoke, yes. Time being purchased again and again.
The homie Oogie's got a premier team.
Oh my
Probably
God.
the second person. Oh.
Oh, he's sick.
He.
Does he doesn't have the time?
Oh, he shouldn't have let go. Does he? He's got it. He's got it. Yeah, he does.
Absolutely does. Bloody hell. Chronicle
I think
went
Chronicle's
around the world,
so paranoid that he's noted there. He's actually expecting Bone Cold to come and hard clear him, even after that smoke is invested towards front sight. I mean, there's a world there where Bone Cold can just stick the defuse all the way through.
Yeah.
Technically rolling the dice, but...
I just still can't believe we got to that scenario. The fact that that got down to a 1v1 just feels obscene.
I feel like Valorant takes a while to get into. I feel like I haven't really broke through like the ceiling of where you kind of get addicted to it, and I think it's because there's so much to it. You know what I mean?
Proactive through sewer. They really want this pressure point.
I think this is, I was asking what the response will be from Vitality, and they're happy to continue exploring here. Yeah,
a whole bunch of ults available over on the side of Finatic.
Again, I'm looking for movement. I already see it now with Destry making his way back through spawn.
But they can't leave Twiston alone to this, even though it's such a nice position to be pushed up to. Still needs to have Molzy by his side.
Look at the pings coming through from Fnatic as well, yeah. And actually, this smoke should isolate Twiston. Twiston's got to go huge in this position once again.
It's all on him. Yeah,
nice job by Leo.
Like
really good read.
Every little tell, they read the
You filthy boy,
they give them
bro.
The space, by the way.
Yeah.
They almost want Vitality to post somebody up close.
It had worked maybe a couple times in the previous rounds, even rolling it back, but again, Fnatic just learning on the fly. And now B looking extremely vulnerable.
30 seconds left.
Bone Cold slowly making his way down C-Long, but again, stopped by the turret now.
So that time to get down.
Burn up will delay the plant, but
not long enough. I was gonna say they still have the divide long enough.
They need to pressure this backline. All of Vitality come from the same side right now.
Ooh.
Found Dirk, but that's towards the front side of things. How
the first opening here.
Maybe this is how you do it, apparently. But the answer's coming back in. Boncone's going to sit at least a half. He's fine, gets off this. Alpha needed a kill from that. He's not going to get it. No further real damage comes in. Yes, they're down to half, but they can still defuse. Alpha can only get one in this.
What?
Wait, the Nano Swarm, hold on.
The Nano Swarm got Bone Cold on the defuse?
Where did that come from?
How?
Again, the first kill, he almost adjusts for the second operator.
What?
Kill,
Really close.
And again, I mean, I'm very, very conscious of Vitality's approach to this retake, but
I'm so confused.
I think a couple of members of Fnatic over-committing to this first point of contact. Hunter Fury obviously clearing out that. Oh, the shock dart comes through just too late.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, so the shock dart. Or the shock dart push him into a Nano Swarm.
This is it's 5-5. It's a hella scrappy game between these two.
Another situation.
Love to
where
see it,
actually
man. I
Twiston
said it was
falls
going to be a
first,
banger.
Vitality able to convert.
Love to see it, bro. Okay.
That's a very early
You
investment.
can't close that gap at all.
I will give them sight at least, because Vitality have to get out.
How much do they have to retake on the other side? Still quite a decent
I mean, they were able to take it because they didn't know how many people were in short, but they are still up here in heaven, right?
Got punished by Boaster.
Destian should be able to prevent the spike?
Should do a good amount of chip damage. Alpha on the operator and Dirk are up close. Still gonna be a 2-for-1 trade out. Aussie trying to clear towards Graffiti, spots nothing. We can see the positions the Fnatic are holding. That was very close by though. And now there is a flank on the way, but need to get moving on this. 2 players towards suicide.
No paranoia, no, again, no flashes from Molzy.
Sender can make this play.
Late on this flank. Might catch Durka, but time's already expired, I feel.
He's found 2 of them. They need to try and clear Leo about 5 minutes ago, but they're trying to do what they can.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Nice.
Vitality somehow dicing up Fnatic into manageable pieces.
I mean, it's another situation where you think, yeah, sure, Fnatic are going to be able to hold on to this. 2 kills come through, similar to the previous.
Yes.
Probably the worst timing possible for Fnatic.
All right, last round and a half here, champ.
I mean, I'd be very surprised if this is the plan all along, but initially, at least here, Vitality.
Sender gets so much space in the backside there.
Holy shit. On kind of, you know, playing numbers advantages, but even now they're getting away with some retakes that they absolutely shouldn't.
Yeah, you can see Mini's not happy about that either. it's rare you see a little frustration from Mini, but it's certainly there.
Really impressed with Vitality, though.
And it's not just over the usual win conditions of like Twistin having a mad game. It's more than that. Let's see now. Isolating Durka on the site. Can they deal with him? Yes, and no follow-up. The utility work towards Long was fantastic. And bear in mind, they have 3 players ready here for this.
Yeah, Boast has been noted himself, and I think as well, hearing Destrian, but not going to anticipate Twistin slipping into this position.
No, not at this point, right?
Look at the
I mean, Vitality need this game, right? So I don't know if you've been keeping up with Americas much for VCT. Verka, I know you say you're not a big Valorant fan, but Team Vitality is like right on that cusp of the playoffs, like elimination line. Boaster.
How does he even have the audacity to consider that?
And the thing is now, they ping out this mid to A rotation because they heard Destrian. They know Destrian's towards A lobby.
But Boaster just feels untouchable, apparently. Just flies on up towards heaven, doesn't get punished towards CT. So the plant's going to come in. Now, yes, the flank's there, but you can see...
But yeah, so Team Vitality, team with the lead
currently.
currently.
There's nothing left to surprise here.
With a loss,
trying to clear through just in case
they basically will be putting themselves in a position where they need to win their last 2 games, and I think still get a little help.
Lockdown on lockdown.
They will trade off here, and you've got to argue that Fnatic ultimately the ones to probably benefit from this a little better, but Bone Cold isolating Boaster very early on here.
Oh, this is going to be so down.
Fnatic, though, undefeated on the season.
Did they forget about Death?
They've only lost 1 map, I think.
Around towards 2, but they need to make a move. It's down to Alpha and Leo, but the time is slim. Vitality have to get on the side. They found Leo. Where's Alpha? 3 HP. Nothing more to be done. The time is slim, but it's there, surely. Bone Cold holding on to this one. Another defuse.
Bone Cold actually.
No,
like, do I got it? I think I got it, yeah.
I think we're good. We're at 7-5.
All right.
Very
Vitality up early. All right.
I guess the last 6 rounds, really, you could argue some... Again, beautiful decision-making here in the mid-round from both. So you can see initially that plan was made on the fly immediately. It just so happens to boot, they get the kill onto Twistin.
What a read.
I'm not sure,
all right, I'm going to do... I need to throw some soup in because I'm fucking
just how
starving.
fortuitous that lockdown is, because it forces them away to Long. They've planted for backside towards CT.
So it's really...
So Boaster dies, they then have no opportunity to then actually stack up, because arguably, like I said, they knew where Destrian was. Boaster heard those steps, that's the whole reason they formulate that plan of mid to A.
Wow, a lot to be said about this half, and I actually want to kind of almost lean into it once we come back from this, but I've got a little bit of a note here. We're heading down to Ginny for a little bit of a surprise.
I know these candles are on, I don't want to switch them off. There is a special someone here today that is actually not working, but still took out the time of their day to come in and watch some of these games, but also be supportive. His name is Pavlos. He's sitting right here on the couch. So you are on TV. I'm gonna give you a microphone. I know you know how to hold those ones. So you have 4 candles, 1 for each brain cell. So you get to make a wish, whatever that might be, and you get to obviously blow out the candles as well. So enjoy it. Well, blow out the candles. Do you want me to hold something?
I'm just making a wish real quick.
Okay, would you tell us what your wish is?
Then it wouldn't work.
Please, are you hoping for Vitality to win? Is that your wish?
Maybe? Can't confirm or deny.
Hey, can we have some happy birthday, please? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pavlos. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You're like 2 years off of being an esports boomer.
Yeah, only 2 left. 25 is the age. I'll catch
4
up to Ed
brain
at some point.
cells, 2 years left for retirement. You're doing great. Enjoy your cake. You can have it. Can I have my microphone back? Thank you very much. We are going to be heading back over to our casters, so Pansy and Hypok, take it away.
I've been called old. Someone had the audacity to try and sing, and hope the audience came along with it. That's brave. That was a really brave choice.
The echo was not good out there.
It was, hey, you can't win them all, but I love the attempt. Indeed, happy birthday. But we need to start focusing on this game. Mike, actually roll it back, because that first half actually deserves a lot of credit here, because Vitality have done something that I think a lot of us didn't expect them to do, and not off the win conditions we would have expected.
No, there was, and again, when you talk about Fnatic and I guess the plan, the intention in a lot of these rounds where some of these are unexpected outcomes.
Yeah.
I said you look at the minimap, you look at the position,
You think, okay.
yeah, barring 2 or 3 kills here, Vitality should not win this round.
Yeah.
And they absolutely swung them back in their favor.
And that's, keep in mind, this is Fnatic with 5 rounds with 2 aces from Durka, right? So take from that what you will. Durka only going to get 1 hit, quickly handled. Leo strides in, does well enough to find Twiston, and actually follows up. Sender goes down, and Fnatic just, brutality is the name of the game. That was messy, but it's got the job done.
I think BoCod even thinks he's killed
shit,
Durka
already
there.
back to pistol round?
Looking to find a second opponent on site here. Yeah, Molesy down to 40 HP. It'll be tough to find anything here. We'll hear the reload at least from Boaster, but is he considering clearing with the aftershock? Boaster will close things out. Pistol and around 2. Yeah, Fnatic right back in this.
Again, though, I don't think it's a trend that Vitality are too surprised at. We know that those pistol rounds have evaded them for quite some time. They should be.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is a conversation we could go on about for a long time. Like I said, last week actually getting the opportunity of seeing them in the 9-3 half, where then you talk about the pistol round success rate being absolutely crucial, or at least a lot more weight to it.
Yeah.
This one here starts 7-5.
Not the end
Take
of
it
the
with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. And there's a shorty for Twiston, so he's probably good for 1.
It's a 4-buy round for Twiston.
Sheriff and Molesy and Sender.
Standing ahead.
And what does Vitality do? Maybe a little fact-finding mission about some of that utility, where it's at, how they're trying to approach this.
Zestria needs a ton of damage there.
They
Just trying to
didn't
deal with some of
really
that utility,
invest in
but-
the side of Fnatic here.
Right there.
Didn't have a
Trying
reason to think
establish some
that
of these protocols in a round
Vitality
where
would force,
it's gonna be
though.
difficult to do so. Leo does actually
Nice.
catch sight of Bone Cold here. We'll find Warbang onto him. Twiston tries to close the gap. Fortunately shut down. They can keep this clean, keep 5 standing at least. A huge bonus, I say that. Sender on the shot onto Durka. Difficult to recover that weapon, or actually the spike as well. Need a lot more. Sender's still
Okay,
so
Sender.
disgusting with the Sheriff.
Bro, for real though, Sender's one of the ones you love to watch when he's got a
Sender's
sheriff
not
in his hand.
far behind. I think, if anything, kind of starting to take that crown a little bit. Boaster
30 seconds left.
creeping on the back lines, though. It should be quite telling that he's not being able to spot anyone towards Sewer, so they've pushed up pretty close. See them tucking in towards the corner. This crossfire is very unpleasant to try and break. Sender's going to need an absolute banger of a shot, but there's Boaster in the back line, and it ain't pretty, but it's got the job done.
Close out. Will actually retrieve.
All right, able to
from
get 2 of your Bulldogs and a
Phantom. This time around, won't
Phantom.
have the Blade Storm there for Durka. Just again with that protected purchase, should be able to get another rifle on board. Chronicle at least buying down to 50, so yeah, expecting the purchase out of Durka as well. For this Logitech G power-up round.
One of my favorites.
the power-up round. What's so special about the power-up round?
Let's see if the game is actually going to keep up to the quality of the first half. 7-7, this could be one of the rounds that defines outcome. See what Vitality can do here, now fully equipped. Extrapolating what information they could from those first couple of rounds.
Denial of space towards A lobby actually pushes Vitality immediately towards this heavy ceiling. Boaster will be called upon.
As I say, he
Looks to
pushes
win
up on
position
this,
here.
right?
He's got himself
Ooh.
a shorty as well. Vitality happy that they baited out a couple of bits of utility, but no commitment on the back of it. Already you're going to see Leo head back towards A, and Chronicle to pick up the slack towards B.
Destrian to see if he can still create a little noise, probably. Or do they? We think they still try and rotate this thing.
Now the problem is there is still
in their garage, right?
It actually handled. Okay.
Through garage?
Vitality now should have decent access.
Nice.
Twisted
Good
seems
read.
very paranoid of Boaster there, but it's Molzy to claim him. Alpha was trying to keep him safe, but these rotations aren't far away. Leo can lean right back in. Alpha's doing a wondrous job, but it is Destrian doing damage. Alpha and Durka, though, both towards CT1 on flat. And Alpha is dangerous when he's in this sort of form, but Bone Cold is as well. Vitality again. A couple of these rounds, Mike, it feels like, okay, well, Fnatic, if they're two big boys, right? They've got your Durka backside. You've got Alpha really starting to heat up a bit.
Alpha goes huge on backside here.
Like, look at this. Just unbelievable. Then tell me that looks like a Vitality win.
Yeah. I mean, Alpha's desperate to follow up on Durka taking contact on logs, but again, a lot of damage done in the bonus round. And I mean, you noted it earlier on. I think Mini actually questioning some of those tiny bits of synergy in some of these rounds for Fnatic that are just ever so slightly off.
That's
Every time I see the Fnatic coach, I don't know why. The first thing I think is Thinking Man's Valorant.
And suddenly,
even though Thinking Man's Valorant is signed with Ascend, it's just.
Durka's selling, but now they're committed to this, right? Like,
I don't
he's
know
willing
why.
to take a fight on this.
As I say, nobody can deal with the drone for him though, and does burn up the dash, so potentially can't post up aggressively now.
I'm gonna go grab my.
A big enough indicator for Vitality to head elsewhere. I mean, they're exploring elsewhere on the map, yes, but they're actually setting up for a pinch towards A.
The timing on this.
Leo's step will be noted at least. I'm not even sure actually if Leo's step is what deters them away from that A pinch. It looked as if Sender and Bone Cold were happy to challenge towards B there. And the timing in this contact found in Garage could actually be disastrous for Fnatic. I mean, Durka still, yeah, they've got the perfect read here actually. It's pulled nothing.
Thought about that. Yeah, by all accounts, you'd imagine that they were going to go for that lean. But Sender's done well to find the lurk in middle. That's Leo now removed, spots the barrel from Alpha. Perfect, really good value to this. But Durka's still standing and still fighting. 2 huge kills, 13 seconds. Spike's still in sewer. 10 now. They need Durka dead or they've got this round. Booster's found another.
What?
How has Fnatic turned this one around? Sender did everything right. They had the sight on a platter, but Durka somehow saw through it, got himself there and got a boatload of kills and got Fnatic the round.
Boaster goes huge with the Sheriff as well. Massive kill. I think it was a Destrian down towards long. This is massive from Durka as well. Yeah, Destrian down on long here. And then the freebie onto Bone Cold.
That's interesting. So they're saying the no. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. This is Valorant, not
That is
Apex.
ridiculous to turn that around. Another round, actually, crediting Vitality in the first half for some of them, but you look at that, the timing of Sender finding not just 1, but 2 kills on that mid lurk.
I'm just still amazed that Fnatic read that. I don't know if there was an audio cue or something, but...
I guess because there's no steps behind dealing with the turret, there's no flood into Garage. If you know 2 players there, potentially, if Bone Cold's still there, he has to come back and retrieve the spike, sure, but if there's 2 players, maybe that's what changes things.
Oh, denied.
That's
Excuse
big,
me?
actually.
How did he?
Okay, Sender's still found a bit of room, but Durka's here. Yeah,
Oh.
Durka's got you dead. No worries about that. Could get more pressure following. Not really. This is all looking a bit too messy for my taste. Again, the spike is down on B, so the actual meat of this round seems as though it's been picked clean. And Sender does something quite miraculous here.
One enemy remaining.
Boaster in a
All right, so
dirty
Fnatic
low
at round
angle.
17.
Not gonna let Bone Cold past. And the spam's good enough for the job
They
done.
should be able to still
Lose that
invest over
play,
and on the
Fnatic
side
make
of
it to 9.
Vitality, right?
And not
For round
as much impact there as
18.
Vitality would have wanted, I imagine.
No, I mean,
Do you have the lockdown on the side of Vitality, but you need this round here? Because if you lose, you're down 10-18 or 10-8. You probably have to go into pistols, or at least a mix buy.
To retrieve it, and there's just a lack of information.
At risk of going to 11.
Long expired by then, unless you get massive amounts of information from it. I think here actually it's posted inside Twiston's Cloudburst so that nobody can push him whilst he's planting that. But again, maybe plant location a little bit safer. And they don't lose the spike in that situation, but like I said, it never feels comfortable for these kind of run in, plant, dash out, full reset towards mid. Especially if the enemy controller is still alive, there's always that chance of something going wrong in the post plant.
Yeah, it feels incredibly risky.
That felt like a roll the dice round for Vitality, to be honest. Again, this scoreline is not too concerning.
No. And bigger picture, we're talking about the team in 6th place who've started to come up against the big boy opponents here. And actually putting up a really fair fight against Fnatic, who are sat in 1st. Now, again, you look at the map pool, Haven, Bind especially, you think this is a 2-0 all day, but by all accounts, credit to Vitality and credit to Sender, who's having a fabulous game for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, obviously, I mean, touching on this role change ever so slight with Destiny and Bone Cold, I like it. You're never really going to lurk better than Bone Cold, to be honest, and if he's in that position where he can kind of orchestrate these rounds from the back lines, something we did see time and time again on Split last week, actually, where Destiny was just unable to find value consistently in that position. So I'm curious, actually, if there was a set piece around Chronicles Aftershock there, with the star placement, actually, again, fairly default from Boaster, but we haven't seen it just yet. For maybe the fault line to follow up, the gravity well comes through. Yeah. Especially with Vitality a couple times stacking 3 players into that cubby opposite sandbags.
Maybe just needed a little bit more showing of presence and they could have pulled the trigger on it. Maybe something to look at in the future.
As I say, Durka is the solo anchor for C here. Will be droned off.
Sorry, Chad, I'm eating real quick. I need to put some food in my belly.
He actually repeats onto that whilst revealed.
The paranoia didn't quite
catch
him either, so
on site.
Now on red alert, Durka has finally had to fall away from the site. Gives it up, but the tag, it's got 2 players. Molzy and Bone Cold.
All right, got one, and did he get second tag?
They are going to get the plant for this, though.
Got the half on the
coming in.
On Bone Cold there.
And Alpha 2 away. Very early lockdown, though. So Boaster does have the Cosmic Divide, so Vitality have to commit towards... I was going to say site or garage here because they can't really.
Interesting that they're sending that many into the garage.
You
also have Sender.
Oh my word, they've got
Destiny and Twisted got one.
They got Chronicle and Durka down. This is massive, and Twisted
didn't
fall away.
No way.
He held his ground and he held the fight perfectly. Still spots out another towards CT. He knows the positions now. He's in so much danger, though. He has to try and make a move out of here. He can't.
That was a nice play, though. He was able to hold extra time.
The time he is so precious. Alpha and Leo, they've got the operator. It's save time. There's no more seconds left on this. Alpha can do some damage, maybe.
Well done. Good round.
On the way out, potentially. No, I don't think he's got the opportunity for it here.
This is beautiful. Like I said, the awareness, obviously, that they cannot, obviously, completely reset. They take the space while the lockdown's still ticking away on site. Again, with that Cosmic Divide, that can completely
We had talked about how big of a round that was for Vitality.
Or focused at least towards long.
It just feels so precarious.
Vitality gets the round.
At that point. Or
you have 3 ults going into this next round here as well.
I guess that's what they kind of committed behind, so it works out well, but man.
I don't think Fnatic were expecting Vitality to be that proactive.
Maybe not, yeah. That's probably the bigger draw of it, was the fact they actually got proactive in Garage there, rather than falling too far deep. But we do see Dirk with it. Oh. Hello, Twisted. Boaster's the one to actually find Twisted.
Okay, so you're at least able to get a trade off it.
I mean, gets away with his life.
You see the confusion.
Maybe it's not a trade, but it's still a 4v. Shut
up! Is it going to get cleared? Yes, he is.
Brilliant. Nice heads-up work from Bone Cold there.
Some 50-50 plays here from Fnatic, not going in their favor. Like I said, first time Vitality have been heavily stacked outside. Oh, sorry, outside double doors here. Yeah. Traditionally, a lot of focus towards A lobby, so you can see the confusion on Durka's face there. They're probably looking for Sender in that situation, and only expecting Sender.
And so what?
Maybe Bone Cold.
Fnatic has one more buy?
Lovely little kind of twist to things. Boaster now trying to take those couple of cautious steps, but did he? Yeah, he
one more full buy anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Calling that one out. You can see how Bone Cold trying to deal with this. So much pressure his way. Leo's been warding off, but it's Chronicle to find Bone Cold. Now the chase towards long. They are all stacked up towards this. Boaster has utility. Can he do anything with it, though? The time is dwindling. Chronicle, damage dealt with, forced back. Boaster's fallen. What more can they do? Leo down so low. It's time to back away again. Yep. Vitality are going to take the lead from this. And they want to chase.
You want to try and remove the operator. Nice. Find the finances are
able to get the op. That's huge.
It's heartbreaking for Boaster. Tries to get the gravity well and the stun off when he spots all of those players retreating down C-Long. It's just a little clunky with the astral form. Again, difficult to pull off in that situation, but
2 in a row now. Oh my word. Vitality.
And this, like I said, this starts with 2 separate plays that you think are 50-50s, which Fnatic aren't known for.
No.
Like I said, I think Massive curveball that's not just Sender outside playing contact off the turret. It's not just BoneCold looking for some information lurking early on in this default. Maybe this is what Mini's going to relay to us. Yeah. We've seen him be a little frustrated with some of these because they are, like I said, there are a lot of rounds in Valorant where you look at on the minimap, you say expected outcome, 99% of the time you're probably right, but Vitality
is that not the man's Valorant champ? Let's be honest.
They never should have, especially against a team like Fnatic.
Looks like I think he's man's Valorant, I'm telling you.
You're on the money there. Now, of course, an opportunity for Vitality, Salah as well, to have a chat, kind of check back in, have a conversation about what's going on currently, because...
Probably a harder job for Salah, honestly, because it's like there's so many variables at play. Exactly, yeah, exactly. But this is the thing with Vitality, when Twistan's having one of those days, you do get those dice roll rounds where it's like, Twistan will find you two to open up.
Hey.
And
but you could say the same for Durka. I mean, man's consistent, absolutely. Sure. But then he goes to the extreme of, like, sometimes he'll get you 2 full rounds.
Difference being for Fnatic, I think the discussion of Durka being the win condition is less credible nowadays than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Because, again, on all cylinders, this roster is insane, right?
Honestly, if everyone's performing at 110%, no team can stop them. Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think anyone's actually going to discredit that unless you're mental.
That's probably fair, yeah.
But it is trying to activate all those pieces, right? That's always been the...
I think Loud's probably your best bet.
But you always get a good...
And Loud has shown some weaknesses throughout the course of Americas.
Off, I feel, anymore, but you're right.
Well, they've allowed a map
in comparison,
I think 5 of their 6 matchups.
Different, actually. A much earlier drift towards Garage. Actually, the timing of the smoke. But
I think
the adjustment on the side of Fnatic actually is, Alpha's basically set up towards an anti-rush.
Yeah, 5 of their 6 matchups are allowed a match.
It looks like they're going back towards, and this was during that. They dealt with it pretty well. Okay, a little bit of damage, but so far it's okay. It's how they now filter on through, because Alpha can kind of backfill the space here. Yes,
okay, now you know you have 2 in. You know you have 2 in.
Twisted in the timing, terrible. But Chronicle doing wonderfully. Finding Molesy there is fantastic. He's still trying to hold back by logs. This is massive.
Nice.
2 players revealed.
Oh!
No, the BoneCold is still on the
side.
And Leo tucks him into bed. Bloody hell, that was snappy, but...
I mean, this is beautiful.
Cheap round, too.
As well. He kind of negates this damage, TPing across onto site, gets himself into a position to maximize value off that paranoia. It's just unfortunate. I think a player gets caught in that long smoke, gets spammed. And BoneCold's just like, where do I put it? Where do I put the paranoia? Who's ready to swing off it?
No one's quite there yet, And funny,
Twisting catches a blind coming out of connector. There's so many tiny things that go wrong for Vitality here. It's actually really unfortunate because BoneCold gets himself into almost a guaranteed value position with that paranoia.
But during that timeout, the funny thing as well is that it was mostly Alpha talking. So it probably was, how do we deal with this garage pressure? And I like the adjusted setup there. That's going to work quite well. Puts a little bit more on Boaster, who's actually just taken a lot of damage.
I was going to say, he's got to be really careful actually with how low he gets, that he doesn't get caught with the Hunter's Fury.
27 HP, but he is still standing. And Vitality's burst through Garage has been dealt with now.
And the problem being now is actually
all these so they've used the Hunter's Fury.
This drift back towards A. With Durka having seemingly a lot of control or freedom to control this part of the map. I think, very early on he's going to hear a step. I'm not even sure actually if that was Leo with the Al drone, but seems to have at least kept Durka interested towards sewers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say Sender still... Durka's over there.
Here, so even if they leave Durka on an island, if it goes 1-for-1, beneficial for Fnatic. We'll note the second player, but 30 seconds left now. Vitality need to get a move on somewhere.
Where the hell are they going?
30 seconds.
They can't back away. Durka's still here. Okay, the flash off was pretty nice to be heads up, but where are they going? 25 seconds.
We'll send a B.
Vitality, where are you going?
Thank God it's Sender that dies, honestly.
Can they get just a manic plant on B? I'm still looking at the utility that maybe Chronicle has. He's got his ult still into play.
He gets the spike down, right? He gets the spike down.
What is the plan now?
No.
Multi does find Durka.
Spike doesn't go down.
They've got to make something. Wait, they're just finding the kills. They need to still find Leo and Chronicle. 2 seconds, it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
What on earth was that from Vitality?
One enemy remaining.
I'm not sure at the point at which the penny
I mean, you made an expensive round, but the op still survives for Fnatic.
It feels very uneasy if you're the other 2 or 3 players that rotate towards mid. Then Sender has to come back to cover his cross. Like I said, if it's Destrian caught by Durka there, round's done before they even have a chance.
I mean, I guess you saved 3 rifles, right?
Very strange round. You see here, there's not a lot separating it at all. And I think you're bang on the money as well. As soon as the clock ticks down there, having the Rolling Thunder, that decides the round. There's nothing Vitality can do to actually get that back in their favor.
I think he technically had time to stick the plan, but you wouldn't think about it.
Fizzle out like that.
Let's say playing a late round like that into an enemy lockdown and a Rolling Thunder as well. Just
this is precarious for Alpha. This is a big test for him. Again, he has been consistently pressured through towards Garage this time around, holding on to the Nano Swarm, kind of placing it himself, reactionary. But they have cleared through Garage now, so that has to be something they consider. Last round, Bone Cold was posted up towards Long. He took the TP over towards them. See what the game plan is here. Durka does get to keep his life here. Now problems start to mount. Looking like Vitality might be hitting that wall. Is there anything they can do towards this C-side? That looks like they're going this way. You do still have Boaster. You do still have Alpha. And Twiston wants in. Boaster, he didn't get seen. Boaster didn't get seen. And he only gets one. I thought he could have even had more.
I was going to say, you would have at least liked a second there.
Very much willing to challenge. Finds a perfect place. Wanted a bit more as well. Molsey going to handle him quickly. 26 seconds now. Finding a cubby to stay alive. And just...
I'm not sure even if... Oh, well, Durka's going to very quickly figure out that Twiston got all the way to backside.
And now it's over. Yep, Fanatics at 12.
I think you put it perfectly. Felt like hitting the wall. There's a lot of hesitation, at least in the early round for Vitality, where, I mean, even thinking back across this map, it was decisive, right? In terms of sticking to the game plan, there was intention at the start of every single round. Not necessarily seeing that here on the attack, or I'll say the home stretch, I should say.
Yeah.
Lots of positives early on for Vitality.
But to me, it's again, just that purely that adjustment, taking away the option of that Garage Burst has put Vitality into such a bad spot here. They can't take much pressure, they've been trying to kind of explore those A options, right? They faltered. They couldn't quite get past your Leo and Durka.
Not very deep exploration of A options, though, to be honest. We haven't really seen.
So Vitality's going to need to pull off 3 rounds here. What's their econ look like?
Again, the first time
they're going to be able to have a full buy here? I don't think so, right?
1 in 7 rounds where you've got the Blade Storm.
No, there wasn't anything there. Yeah, you're right.
It was a drone, and then Twiston updrafted way after the drone as well. Durka stood there looking at the drone for 3 seconds, and that's the time where you want the updraft to come. When there's more than one thing for Durka to focus on.
He'll still adjust somehow.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Yeah, you're right. I would love to have seen them maybe in these last couple of rounds test a little further towards that. It's easier said than done. Go challenge Durka and Leo.
Sure.
But
kill Durka, win round.
Because this, as said, the changing Garage has completely taken that off the board from them. Even though we have seen that Alpha's not gone back to it. It's a different setup now.
And again, they're not finding a massive amount of value off that utility. Like I said, it's targeted towards that anti-rush setup.
Yeah.
But they haven't really found much of, well, they must have heard us, because now they're actually actively looking to take the space away from Durka.
Okay, I don't mind that. But now I want to see if they can deal with utility on the rest of the map. Post up someone like Twiston, leave him to his work, see if they get overconfident potentially if Durka goes exploring. They seem hyper aware of the chance someone could slip towards this position. So I don't know what's going to really dissuade Durka from continuing that train of thought unless pressure comes onto the other side of the map.
He's actually found the wallbang on Twiston. He's found the second shot as well.
Yeah.
Filthy.
It's such a beautiful read
filthy.
from Durka. That is ridiculous.
He is one of the best in this game. I could not care less. This guy is near on untouchable. And a little bit of pressure towards Garage. I don't mind that, but Durka's still immovable. He's standing and holding this. He's reading them so well. Can he get any more done? He's waiting for it.
He saw it. Oh!
He's got the tag, but not the frag. He did find at least Bone Cold. Send it to stay alive. 40 seconds now. Where do the options lay? It's taken them this long.
I
two
mean,
bodies
at this point, you need to figure out what you're doing. Destrian's got some information on B that maybe you can rotate over, but you got to do it like right now.
Boaster rotating across, at least he should still catch the audio.
Destrian probably should have pushed into the side a little bit quicker, or a little bit sooner, honestly.
Still lots of utility available for Chronicle. Alpha,
see, they should have already been on site here, right?
So actually got the Cosmic Divide as well for Boaster.
Ooh, drifting a little deeper towards the connector. Okay, and finding Leo. Didn't expect Leo to be caught towards that either. Maybe he was
I guess you want to make sure you can trade out real quick.
Just fine. Now Chronicle and Alpha. Is it a closeout here? Do we get another round? Alpha creeping closer. They seem very unaware of it. Finally, a little bit of a turn from Molsey. Yeah, seems to finally check towards it. Alpha does slip ahead of it. but 3 to find is quite a tall task. Not going to happen.
All right,
Vitality
nice.
Back within
Round
touching
24.
distance here. Little Badger.
I still can't get over that. Durka, not just once, but 3 times. Misses on the first, by the way. It's the second and third that catch.
Audacious.
Another, actually, there's such a fine margin to this round, not spiraling out of control if Durka finds that extra kill onto Sender.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not just a tag there.
Is he okay? Bloody hell. Okay, Durka operator out. Enough to fashion a purchase here as well for Vitality, so not really missing out on too much, which is great. Twistin quick to work though. Alpha this time is on patrol though. He is actively holding.
If Fnatic loses this, they should still be able to buy their next round for the most part.
Taking a ton of damage
I think completely, right?
Around, I think he's thinking they've not found me on the first couple of spams, but finally being taken down with the third attempt, I think, into that smoke. Ping's coming through from Vitality. They're looking to try and find that.
I'm gonna say him buy like I wouldn't force an overtime. Don't fucking mind me, Chad. I'm an idiot.
Going hunting elsewhere. Posted up way deeper.
Pings. This is much better. But he sticks around. He's not afraid. Yeah, you still need to put real intent behind clearing him. But they've kept him humble to this. But they are now allowing the rest of the
There's
rotate.
nothing behind that.
This is massive. There's 3 players now on towards C. They've got that nice adjusted little setup here as well. Box is just trying to buy some time, make that site feel as uncomfortable as possible. 38 seconds, you're going to hear that audio cue and Twistin going hunting. It's Chronicles find Destrian though. Molesy with the trade, a little sloppy in the end, but now Molesy wants to cure towards CT. This is lovely work. Surely this is it done. Twistin has to get a shorty kill. It's
overtime, baby.
And Durka.
Unless Durka goes off, Durka go off. Durka go off.
An attempt made, but he's not going to have it. 12 to 12, it's OT, and I'm so happy we got here. Vitality finally hitting those challenges, doing what we wanted to see.
And this is a very, very well constructed round as well. You can see the intention there initially was obviously to find some pressure towards A lobby. The ping comes through for Destrian to go and drone exactly there. Creates, I was talking about lack of pressure towards Durka. Just this one, that slight exchange there makes Fnatic reconsider. At least Durka hangs around, he reconfirms behind that drone, there's nothing there. Then Fnatic have a perfect read, but actually, at the end of the day, Vitality actually come out on top of things towards C.
Of course, overtime brings equal buys.
Okay, let's look at it from
brings things to an even playing field here, which I feel like definitely favors Fnatic, right?
Durka dropping 25. You had Alpha acing, Durka acing. Everyone's playing a good game.
Incredibly well.
They're playing a great game, exactly. And for the fact that Vitality are now going toe-to-toe, 6th place up against 1st, like this. Amazing.
I mean, I feel like we've just seen Vitality be able to get
Twistin,
momentum when they need to a couple times.
And
both in the game and in economy, you know?
He's dead. He's absolutely dead.
Yep.
I was going to say the timing there, the dash rapidly expiring.
Unfortunate, man.
Hoping Vitality make a move, capitalize
really
on that
tough,
window.
bro.
I'm not even sure actually if their Twistin dashes into Destrian and gets body blocked on the way back out. Again, it's something I'd love to see in a replay there, but it'll be heartbreak. Twistin has to try and dash away because of the flash, because of that pressure that comes through, but I think Destrian's looking to support him, swing out of that smoke off his contact and just body blocks him. EVS, if you're listening, show me.
No pressure.
As long as nothing else happens in this round, obviously.
Yeah, hold on. Who do we have left? Sender's still alive. Yeah, here we go. But they've had to make just a bit of a guess, you know, a gamble.
30 seconds
Stick towards A. But the plant will be coming in towards B. Spike's on the right. Yeah, plant going to be coming through, no problem there. Still methodical in approach, Fnatic. And look at this post plant already. It's feeling very.
They know that I was gonna say they know exactly where they're coming from. Well, not exactly, but they know where they're not coming from. Now they know exactly where they're coming from.
It's fine. Again, you take a kill here.
They can play patient on the front side of this door on B.
Nano swarms there to negate that smoke from Bone Cold.
Now it's gonna be all left of Bone Cold. Nice paranoia.
Nothing really more to be
Yeah,
done.
too many people at the door though. Tough.
Making the most of the start there. A little unfortunate as a beginning. Let's see if we can get that replay. That'd be really useful to see if that did happen. But again, neither here nor there now, but this was the very start of it. I think he got caught.
I think he got caught in the box.
Yeah,
he's caught in the box.
Thank you very much, replay man.
Again,
so
he doesn't know 'cause he
tough,
catches
bro.
The flash. It's so unfortunate. It's another one that we'd say is such a fine margin.
All right. At point to Finatic here.
Durkin now back to the hunt. Patrolling down by Sewer.
Here.
Couple slipped ahead. Where are you going, Destrian? Destrian's lost.
Well, this shouldn't be news to them. It's happened the entirety of regulation.
Every round, and Dirk is just still holding ground. This is, yeah, falling to pieces. Oh, he's got the 2-for-1. He's just grinning.
Chad, this was fun, but
this is fizzling
ended
out,
up being the way we thought it was going to be, right?
A great attempt throughout regular, or at least, yeah, until then. This is
all right, well,
a clean affair towards the end once it got to OT. A little unfortunate, really.
Remember, that was Fnatic's map pick, though, right?
This feels very unfortunate for Vitality because there were lots of positives to take away from that one. Again, the biggest criticism, I can't even speak, the biggest criticism actually the last couple of weeks for me has been their inability to kind of capitalize on Twiston. Some of these rounds, actually, they're flipping when Twiston's gone for 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So there are lots of positives to take away from this Haven performance, and well, goes without saying, seeing some of Mini's reactions, actually there's a lot to take away from Fnatic's perspective as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of those games that'd be great to look back through, kind of knowing the outcome and kind of like looking back at some of the specific rounds there, because that's probably one of the closest games we've seen the entire season on towards Fnatic. Not many teams even take them to OT. I don't think they've even dropped a map. So the fact Vitality
Fnatic's dropped
this
one
far
map,
on
I think,
Fnatic's
right?
choice is pretty fantastic, and the best part is Bind up next.
I'm excited for that.
I'm ready for Bind.
I'm very excited.
Bind, baby, let's go.
We're gonna head to a break. When we're back, we've got Bind.
Yeah, Fnatic's dropped one map. Who did they lose their map to? Wasn't it like BBL or some shit too?
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, it was BBL. Which is why no one remembers. Oh.
Let's go.
All right, chat, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna rinse out this dish here. We're getting ready for Bind map number 2.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Usually when I see a target, I won't miss. I try to find weaknesses wherever they are and just game by game try to pick up on anything I can. So this training course is a way for me to really showcase and demonstrate all the questions you guys have been asking, you know, how to get better aim, and it really enables me to answer a lot more and kind of expand on the first video I made like so long ago about Valorant fundamentals.
I forgot. 7. I got confused for a second because I came in like in between songs. It was like dead silent. I was like, hello! We're here. We're fine. Ooh, best Halo of all time.
Hello guys, I'm Derke, a Fnatic player and also a VCT lock-in winner. And today I'm gonna tell you how to play Jett. Let's start with the basics. Jett is a high mobility duelist. Play with your support players, ask for utility, try to create space and go in first so you can seek for the advantage and for the map control. We're going to go through some specific abilities.
Dirk is my brother, in case y'all didn't know, chat.
aka Dash. Dash is very good
in case y'all couldn't
ability to make space for your team.
Pick up on the family resemblance.
Like situations, or just like not let your enemy refrag you. You can entry easily on the sides with dashing into smokes, or dashing and smoking some areas to get cover from your smoke. It works really good when your teammates combine that utility with a flash or a recon, so you can stay in your smoke and wait for the recon to scan somebody so you can get a free kill. Then we have updraft. Updraft is really good to use in entering situations, like for example on Haven. When you entry on C, you can use it to dash on top of plat or on top of the...
When Dirk is like popping off, bro, there's really no stopping Fnatic. It's honestly kind of insane.
Dash on top of side and updraft on it. And then you can also updraft on top of boxes on
just because it allows everyone else to play so much more like boosts. They don't have to worry about anything.
aka smoke. It just has 2 of them, so it's good to use on entering, as I said before. But it's also good on defense when you need to cross an angle or you need to take space, get one-ways, and then also it's very good to dodge flashes or recons and just hide yourself. You can also use Jett Smoke to deny information. For example, on Haven A lobby, you can use it on the long entrance. Enemy will not know if you're on short or if you already crossed the long. Next ability is her ultimate, Late Storm. Combining it with dashing or updrafting or just moving in general will help you a lot, because when you move, the recoil doesn't change, so you can actually like move and do damage. Late Storm is a good ultimate to manage your economy sometimes. If you don't have money for AWP or for a rifle, you can use it, or you can use it in
Rose Cup, when does that start?
Or when you think you can get a kill on certain maps with an updraft. Once you've done your practice with the Blade Storm, you could also practice certain dashes, updrafts with knives. For example, Icebox on middle or Ascent on B lobby to get a super quick pick that enemies usually don't expect, or it's super hard to kill you. Thank you guys for watching my Jett guide. See you on the server and have fun practicing.
Vitality gets so incredibly close, but it's not enough. Fnatic gets pushed to OT, but still managed to close it out. And after that video from Durka, I think we kind of understand.
So,
I finally know how to play Jett.
Oh, congratulations!
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot.
I think there's like,
people was home chat. I started feeling the footsteps
over there to what he just did to Vitality on Haven.
I really freaked
you have
out.
like the attitude of everyone in solo queue right now. I think that's gonna be locked in. Nah, I'm just saying, guys, don't lock in Jett. Don't insta-lock. That's what I'm saying, okay? I'm just trying to be nice.
You're also talking to an Astra main, but...
Yeah, okay, very good point there.
I said before this map that I just wanted to see more out of Vitality as a team. And I'm glad that I got that at least, because I think ultimately, I think they were the better team. Outside of some howling mistakes they made and Dirk having another insane performance, 310 ACS, 30 kills, 19 deaths. I think the Vitality, on the whole, played around the map a lot better. Their retakes were really good on their defense, and Fnatic were left a little bit flustered more than we'd expect.
And let's be honest here for a moment. It felt like it was micro things, like small adjustments that actually lost the game for Vitality. Not taking anything away from Fnatic, not the slightest. But obviously, it felt like those were tiny mistakes.
So playoffs is Friday, Saturday for 2K League.
It was so awkward to watch. It felt like it could have been easily theirs, but then attacking side Vitality struck.
Yeah, well, Vitality took away 12 rounds from Fnatic, so there's that. But Fnatic also has quite an interesting way of warming up. Some exercises that they do that could potentially be helping you as well increase your performance. Look at those shoulder rolls, man.
Oh, do it.
I mean,
Ryan, you gotta participate. It can't just be the two of us. Come on.
This is good
stuff.
stuff.
Come on, Ryan, I
the
believe.
one where they do like the arms up on 45 degrees, but it's the fact that Vitality decide to join in as well.
I love it. Vitality joins in.
You have to really get your shoulder blades back. This is very important, so you don't get any lower arm issues. Very important. There's a variety of ways to do that. You could also do it with a foam roller up on your lower arms. Can also recommend that. Also doing circular motions. There's a variety of things to get mobility going.
There.
We need to get the personal manager of Fnatic that goes through the stretches with them in order to go through that ourselves. Because I think honestly, with some of the postures that we've seen, there needs to be a little help. I think Redgar's like overtime at the very least for Team Liquid.
Yeah, you have a really lovely posture there.
I know.
But gamer posture comes in, but someone else comes in clutch, and that's Durka for Fnatic. I mean, anything new really at this point? That's exactly what we expect.
It's almost boring how good he is. I mean, this was his second ace, and I wanted to highlight again, this man was laughing through it like a psychopath.
He loves it.
I mean, listen, it's not only one ace he gets, right? This is like the mad part. He's getting 2 of those in the half. It's mental. Obviously, it was one of the classic Durka shows that we've seen. Absolutely falling, and this is the confidence you want to see, but this is like one of those sentences you say week in, week out. It feels like he is by far one of the most consistent, period. And that makes, it's one of the pillars that makes Fnatic so good.
Yeah, so we have the Jet video, we have the warm-up. So the question remains, what else do we gotta do to be like Durka? Shave our head?
Be finished.
I'm already there, but not really by choice. I feel like involuntarily Durka. I'm an in-Durka. I don't think it's really gonna quite work out the same way.
All right.
I play Jet. Is that your main?
No, but we'll see.
The issue.
You are literally an Astra player, so we're not going to get into that. But let's head over to the telestrator instead. Get off the desk for now. Take a little walk. Work on that posture as well. There we go. Absolutely.
He's literally stomping across the studio.
Okay, so as we're getting ourselves in the right thing, I'm grabbing up my iPad as I got it on Christmas Eve. And we take a look at this wonderful, wonderful play that we're about to witness. I wrote it down in my perfect handwriting. Why is this important? Vitality has Killjoy ult, Fnatic has Breach ult. Why is this crucial? Let's play it, and hopefully I'm not gonna miss the button. Yep, there we go. So what are we going to see? We're going to see a very interesting behavior. The defensive players of Vitality are moving away from the A site. Why do they pretty much do it? Who wants to be caught in a Breach ult? And they have the first few signs that it might be going towards A. Perfect. Awesome, you might think. And the same thing thinks Bone Cold. Where is Bone Cold? Let me draw it in for you right here. And he's going to move forward down C long. Why is that important, you might ask? Well, if you are not intending to go for a defense on the A side, why not try an elaborate lurk? And this is exactly what he does. But, uh-oh, who punished him there? Alpha Year. Absolutely on point with paying attention to what your opponent does and what your own behavior indicates. He most likely realizes, or Boaster tells him, that there is a chance of them being more aggressive in that direction simply because of the fact that they are realizing we have to play off of A side. Boom. And suddenly, the lurk fails. Done. He's out. And suddenly, nobody's coming from behind. Well, touche with round number 11. Taking a look at that, raising all of this. Well, what is happening here? Let me just play so all the icons are indicated correctly. Don't be fooled by the 2 Killjoys. Well, I know my misplay. There we go. Now it makes a lot more sense. So here we go with a more different setup. Ults are not relevant in this, and Fnatic once more is facing the A side, as you see here. All right, focusing on that is a great play, and they will just do their same thing. On the tops, you see right now, there's going the time going off, and they're attacking the sides. It all works great. The smokes are laying down, but here's a crucial factor. Pay attention to the crucial factor. What is happening? Sender is moving forward, and what is happening as well? Exactly. Alpha Year dice. The man with the control on the flank, and this is something that Fnatic didn't pay attention to. More important things to do in that after-plan situation. With Alpha Year dead, this alarm bot is worthless. It doesn't have any purpose. So this allows them to be patient, and Sender saying, I got the timing, wait guys, wait guys, wait guys. And it perfectly happens. It was a situation that was a 3 versus 4. The time was ticking low, they got the defuse going. What am I trying to tell you? Those plays from Alpha Year are so crucial. When he's dead, suddenly flanks are happening that are giving Vitality the greatest opportunities for retakes, one of them that ended successful, and once more a situation that gave them that 7-5.
All right, you kind of smart. We appreciate it, but we're going to be heading on to Bind, which is Vitality's pick. The fact that Vitality was able to push Fnatic into overtime on their own map pick, it gives me a lot of hope for Bind coming up.
For sure, yeah, and it kind of feels that because Vitality chose this, it wasn't Fnatic. Like, Vitality are a team that do come up with their own crazy comps now and again. We've seen Destrian play a lot of Harbor on various maps, like when Breeze was in the pool, he was playing it there. This is a team that's not been afraid to change stuff up, but what have Fnatic been working on in the off-season as well on this new version of the map?
Well, questions remain to be answered as we're going to be heading into Champ Select. I'm not seeing a Harbor just yet, but would love to see it sprinkled in.
Okay, classic, right? Leo doing that. Alpha Year on the Cypher is a very nice decision. Boaster going on the Brimstone. Bone Cold's over on the Sky. It's not too crazy, Ryan, is it?
I mean, on the side of Fnatic, that's pretty standard. I guess the only major change is there's no Sage from Fnatic. They're going to be playing in with the Cypher, which we really don't see an awful lot. We see Killjoy a little bit more than him, so the fact that Cypher's a little bit stronger now than he once was when Bind was back in the pool last year, there is potential for Alpha to do some work.
Also, first time we're seeing Sage on Twisted. Has not played that before. So I think that is also a quite big one. We talked about, though, are usually so impactful individual players, now swapping over to those agents. Cryo was an example, CNET is an example, Scream is an example. There's tons of them, right? There's nothing out of the ordinary. I like it a lot. I think both compositions are basic to a certain extent, Ryan, but not like I'm worried basic. I'm think like they can work basic.
I mean, looking at Alpha on the Cypher, for me, it's just what the hell are Fnatic going to be doing with this? What ideas do they have?
Maybe they want to go for the defense, maybe not, but we're going to be finding it out as we're going to be heading over to our lovely casters, Hypok and Pansy.
Well, Zesht is way more on board and chill about these agent
Had he been drinking since we did that TriCast
I don't know, something's gone on.
I mean, there's a couple of, for me, glaring issues.
Let's talk it through step by step then, because I think this is the main point here.
So we're talking about the role swap for Bone Cold to go back on to the Omen and Destiny swap over. Now we see Bone Cold not in probably the most comfortable agent that I would argue historically we saw, especially here. This was Bone Cold's like playground.
This is when you just
Brimstone.
saw him popping off. It was sick.
So that's a little strange. Again, the Cypher pick. It's always hard to run the Cypher into a solo Raze duelist because that ultimately Raze becomes the first kind of entry point, right? It's the first point of contact. Other one again, Twistin coming onto the stage. There's lots to kind of digest here for this composition from Vitality. But
it's giving me question marks about them.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It leaves me with more questions actually that hopefully will be answered throughout this. Yeah, definitely a strange one for me.
Yeah, and look, maybe there is method to this, maybe, you know, because generally, I find myself on the Vitality side of things. I quite like how they play, I quite like what they do. I've slowly but surely been coming around to this side, but I don't know if I love this agent selection that they've gone for here. I think the best thing we can do is see how it looks actively, but there's something quite beautiful about seeing Fnatic back on this map. There was one of them that was just so gorgeous to watch, some of the innovators early on, so let's see how it looks with that new roster obviously coming in.
I think for a second there, Fnatic considering drifting away after this wall is invested, but at least coming back to get the orb, maybe remove a chunk or two of it. Might have had a chance there if somebody else swings onto the backside of it, but does actually drop away, jumps back up, and will punish Durka. So yeah, we'll actually remove the head of the snake here in the pistol round. Alpha hasn't found much progress towards B just yet.
Let's see if the timing's right for Destrian too. Really nice time purchase around 30 seconds as well.
I was going to say, yeah, if he gets a sound cue somewhere here, this molly can buy so much value towards the late round.
Flash back up for Bone Cold as well, just came through, so when that gets used, this is going to be pretty much game on. Viper utility towards top site. TP
Quick
taken,
push here.
and they're going back for the A crunch, but again, Vitality still have players here. They didn't need to rotate. There was no real pressure,
they can't
no real
push in
threat
here
towards
now.
B. This one's pretty much
I
done
don't
for,
know
yeah,
about
as much as they can try and do a bit of damage here, which, yeah, they'll get one. Actually two, tell a lie, doesn't really make for much here. Beautiful work from Vitality. This pistol round was lovely, but honestly felt a little bit underwhelming from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even say great work Vitality here. Fnatic just completely overcooking this. I think maybe anticipating they're going to create so much pressure from this one snake bite onto default. This was really bizarre. See Twiston find that kill. Like I said, there was a winning opportunity actually initially, but he drops off the block. Yeah, very, very strange. I'm not even sure actually if Durka dying is the one thing that completely throws Fnatic off in this round.
Destrian either spotting a player early or just feeling enough of that pressure. Gonna slip away from this, doesn't want to make it too easy for those classics to close the gap or whatever, maybe on the other side, so...
Yeah, don't want to see him post back up here.
No, he can sit pretty deep on this one. They can isolate the site, but the fight will be coming down towards that jump down on long.
Okay, there's one.
And actually, Destrian does get punished. Now, Bone Cold's still here. The flash was quite good, but doesn't quite note the player. That's Durka. Lovely handling of Durka there. He's gone down, so that's one of the weapons gone.
Two.
Bone Cold. Oh,
he knows Leo's there, right? I think you saw a gun. Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh! That's the Bone Cold you want to be seeing.
Bone Cold's nasty.
Gorgeous work from him with the Ghost. And again, we're going to have to just kind of play as we go. So far, if we're looking at just those first two rounds, not bad at all from Twiston or Bone Cold on those agents coming in, but there's not really been a test.
I was going to say,
next couple of rounds, this is where we start really looking into
it. That off, let's look towards the buy rounds for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's an opportunity here for Fnatic to actually flip this back in. Great timing on the Viper wall being dropped, by the way. Plays Bone Cold in perfectly, because Fnatic are left wondering who's next to swing on site. Almost anticipating Bone Cold drifting back towards long, focusing his attention there.
Well, this is quite a tasty purchase, though. Excluding Destrian, you've got, what, 3 rifles and the Bulldog coming in. That's not bad by any means. Twiston and Dirk are still facing
I mean, I feel like Vitality, even though
the whole way through,
they didn't really invest or like reinvest much in this round.
Flash gives them the angle, but doesn't give them much more.
Still look really solid in their econ, right? Gotta be feeling good after winning the first 2 rounds.
At least this time, I mean, similar approach to the pistol round, but much quicker to collapse towards B.
They've given up the entirety of B long,
I was going to say, catch some information. Wait for him to invest this smoke, and a very deep investment in the smoke, actually. Bone Cold. Dancing with death a little bit there. They pass each other.
Durka the first to turn. And the follow-up as well. Destrian left completely unaware. Punished. Beautiful side take. A little fortunate, you could say. Roll of the dice short.
Gives you control.
You take what you're given.
Going back into the tunnels.
A bit of a spam comes out from Durka. Doesn't quite find Molesy. Got to be careful here, though. And the flank is a million miles off, still has all that utility in place as well. Alpha very much alive and kicking. See if they can achieve any damage from this. They still have 3 rifles here for Vitality. And it looks like Alpha getting a little interested. Going to take over elbow, no threat there, and they're starting to slip away.
I was going to say, I'm curious if Vitality even go for this.
Yeah.
Again, as soon as Sender hears the cam, it's like, yeah, it's going to be tough for me to find anything, guys. And actually Fnatic playing great distance from this utility as well. Finally now coming back towards Fountain, but Sender, I was going to say, might not even be anticipating.
Able to save 3 rifles, though.
That early.
Well, 2 rifles and a Bulldog.
With this purchase, again, the numbers were good behind it. Vitality will have to concede.
You'd imagine Twiston still stays on Bulldog, right?
Durka and Bone Cold catching the flash at the same time means they pass each other.
Half armor's pretty well all the way around.
Reacts.
Feels like most teams are going with that half armor buy.
Yeah, so blind on the way in. You can see just literally hopping over and basically at that point. Bone Cold was lucky to be alive, standing up on default like that. just spots 2 players coming out through hookah.
Maybe this is a contact play. Again, with the 2 players towards B, it feels a little uncomfortable to have Destrian towards, obviously, Cubby outside long, and then YoBoyCue playing crossfire from, I don't know, Cubby under window. So they want to make absolute use of that Viper wall, sure, but you'd almost want a 3rd player there. There to commit to that opening engagement. They're going to find a ton of space here. Towards A initially, Twiston actually will be noted, but the crossfire perfect from Molesy. Boaster good for the trade though.
Yeah, fortunate spacing there. Boaster really well played to that. And Alpha, the timing fantastic through showers. Twiston looked like he was dead 10 minutes ago on that sort of deal. Bailed out initially. That's not where they wanted the molly, it seems.
I think they are, just trying to clear.
So they still don't feel comfortable going for this.
Because there's still no plant come
plant
through.
yet.
Yes, it does get Sender back into position.
Sender.
The fight, he does, and he wins it. Bitter for Sender in that.
Still waiting on this plant.
Does well on one, but he takes so much damage.
And now Destrian takes a lot of room.
Outliving them at this point. Yes, Alpha is low, but his position encroaching slowly but surely. Lovely angle though
this
from
is
Destrian.
tough.
Pushing Leo, we're back to a 2v2 now.
Alpha's 8 HP as well, but actually reflank short. Finds that
It
kill.
definitely
Now
feels
he
like
can
the
slip
slower
back into
plant.
showers. YoBoyCue has to find
Like
his
really
1v1,
screwed them
and he
here,
has
right?
to do it quickly. Boaster,
Come on.
great positioning there to catch it. Alpha just so slippery in this round.
You know what I mean?
Really
Like,
hard to pin down. Even finding that timing initially on Twiston was very nice, but then, as you said, playing the timing perfectly, 8 HP. He was dead if he didn't get it right. So, very well done.
if anything, just maybe made it a little bit more expensive than it needed to be.
But yeah, just a menace here. And again, this is one of the maps that put Alpha on our radar, really, when we first started to see him come into his own. Back on more Killjoy-esque and other agents, but still looked fantastic here. And now, 2 apiece, tied up. We go back in.
Molesy. Say, with absolutely no second swing possible for Twiston there. Still happy to take the engagement, and Durka will fall very early once again. And I'll keep my eye on that again, because it's not something we're often talking about. No. With Durka losing out, I don't want to say losing out on opening engagements, but conceding the first death so cleanly with no possibility of a trade.
Yeah. Weren't Fanatics like better, like entries on the side over on the B side though? Like the ones that were more clean?
Creeping towards A. 3 players here though. No rotations yet from the other side. They are
Isn't that what you prefer here?
They are trying to get a little deeper, and actually Sender just spotted out Alpha there. The dog has been spotted. Oh! Sender! So clean dealing with Boaster. Now Spike left. Does get picked up. Chronicle going to get that back to hand, but the site just doesn't feel secure. They have 3 players here, though, and Alpha's one of them. Delivers a great shot towards Molesy. Sender puts it right back towards Leo, though. A 3v2. The flank yet really not come into effect from Destrian. Slowly creeping in, but Chronicle all too aware of this. Reads
Big
it,
kill.
Gets it. Massive, back to business.
And doesn't take too much damage either, because Alpha's down to 50 HP. You want Chronicle to be in a position to close this out for Fnatic.
Flashback on for BoneCold now. Drifting closer, they just didn't check for it. BoneCold does find the kill on Chronicle, but time's starting to go. And now a tap on the spike short. Comes off it, swings it, and BoneCold wins.
BoneCold, Stone Cold. Able to win the round?
I thought with Chronicle doing what he did, getting away with daylight robbery, basically, that round was sealed.
No, I'm sure, again, Vitality just don't anticipate this change of position. Sender, again, 2 beautiful kills from him. Actually, yeah, BoneCold finds that kill at the perfect time here. Alpha, I think, in a very tough situation. And gambles on, obviously, BoneCold either sticking it all the way through or obviously even just that initial tap, but that pressure doesn't get the better of BoneCold. It must already be apparent in Fnatic's minds, because now Durka exploring towards a beautiful bait attempt there from Boaster. Sticks the rifle way out in the open, baits out the spam. Durka trying to get the trade, but it's only a little bit of damage. Destrian will be healed up immediately by Twiston. First time we're seeing this 3-man set up towards B site from Vitality.
I wonder if they can feel that out already.
So in that regard, this exchange already favoring Vitality way better. Durka now has to play out with 70 HP as the entry.
That entry is just not looking comfortable at all. No one's willing to give Alpha any room to work over towards Shower either. They're sitting way deeper on the site. Should be go time now. Oh, gonna come in, doesn't? Oh, it does force him into the eyes of Alpha.
HP as well.
And Sender took so much damage trying to make it across, but he still finds one. He still finds two. Bone Cold's there. Where is this vitality coming from? Flash into it, finds nothing. Seeker's going to come through. Force
what do you think? Does this go Lotus? This is looking like it's starting to start probably going Lotus, right?
Round. Good position. Surely going to get one. Yes, that's Sender gone. Oh, big shot from Twiston. The repeak from Alpha. Maybe a little audacious in this. But Twiston, safe pair of hands at the end of the day. But Sender is having a fabulous game.
He gets 2 kills on 20 HP in the previous round. 2 kills with 8 HP in this one. This is ridiculous. And Chronicle just not expecting the swing to come through that quickly at all.
Enemy remaining.
Alpha desperately trying to work that one way, or at least that headshot angle, sorry, from bench, but loses out in that engagement. Not a lot working for Fnatic right now, I've got to say. It's their ability to comfortably find these opening duels has not been there.
And
I love this little bait play outside hooker.
It was
yeah,
a lovely
sure,
concept.
But again, Fnatic come out worse off in that engagement.
All right, so
it's
Vitality
nice
still
watch,
has.
actually. Seeing Fnatic stressed and pushed and see what they come up with.
That Viper's Pit if they want it.
Bind, right?
So they have it set up over on A.
In a while, and a pace change maybe. Durka going to dive on in.
All right,
Bone Cold's
Durka.
in danger.
Yep.
Don't know how much he's going to get out of this. Nothing. Okay, he goes down.
Durka gets one.
High value found already.
I know exactly where you are.
Spike planted.
Sender having to relinquish some of that pressure on site, and the spike's now down.
First time he's actually not been able to fight back in initially. Chronicle going to throw
It's
the
all right,
pit
though.
out. It's going to be total control towards Lamps, but actually almost. It doesn't spread. I think the way that Chronicle would like it to.
What is this pit?
Yeah, now he's just kind of left in there. That's
they're sticking
far
the defuse?
from what he wanted. This is awful. Actually, it's backfired
They're sticking
terribly.
the defuse.
They aren't getting off
Oh!
the defuse. They don't have to. Vitality. Oh my word,
Wow.
Molsey. This is just.
What happened on that pit?
One, a little unfortunate for Chronicle there, but it just didn't work in his favor by any means. But there was nothing behind that for Fnatic.
I mean,
Is it
I
because
didn't
the
catch
pit
it
was
on
too
screen,
far
but
into the
I'm
corner?
Not entirely sure of the wall placement.
I didn't quite see it because we weren't. Oh,
Okay.
it's ratty.
Yeah, so it not only blocks obviously any damage coming through, but actually prevents that bounce and sorry, the bounce off the molly to actually land through. I think it did just about catch behind it, but by that point, like I said, Twiston was already sticking.
Yeah, that
so
was
even
already
off
late.
that first sound cue, there, depending on when you fire the molly, you're not
All right.
anticipating that first tap to be the full
Says
defuse.
Vitality's map,
especially
though.
what, still 4v4?
I think it was 4v4 at some point still.
A little too early
This
to
is interesting because we haven't really seen.
be worried about
Fnatic
anything
tested
just
that much
quite
this
yet
season. I
here,
think it's a fair
right?
assessment. They have sat perfectly clean throughout their run. Not even arguably one of the best teams there is as it stands. Now a little bit of a test for them. First time we have to see them thinking on their feet here. Mini's got his work cut out. This is when you're going to have to try and come up with what you can. Maybe not expecting someone to bring in Bind this early. Again, this is a really bold pick to go up against Fnatic on.
And again, my curiosity lies with actually how well a Vitality prepped Bind to pick it against Fnatic, right? Historically a stronghold for them. Again, adopting the original FPX approach to Bind, but they played it perfectly. In my eyes, probably top 3 Bind team in the world, barring old Optic.
Yeah.
Got the spike.
This is very interesting. Again, though, I do think if you ever hear the coach Sala talking about the team and how they kind of come into map vetoes, he tries to read into the opponent so well. Maybe feeling that they could have the advantage on maybe a slightly underprepared Fnatic. Who knows? As it stands, though, looks like a contact piece here. Pop flash, not bad.
Oh.
Not good enough, though. Durka going to start winning out some of these opening engagements. Bone Cold now punished. There is the additional player brought over towards B, though, so that is the one redeeming quality. Now, what does Vitality do with this?
They're still chilling doubles over on A. I'm kind of surprised they don't at least send one of them.
Sands is actually huge.
They're pushed
Chronicle
really aggressive up.
Seemingly aware.
Are they going to flank this?
Again, the ping comes through from Chronicle, I think, but he's not ready for
That's going to force them onto B. It has to, right?
And it looks like someone's going back to
To
check.
spread them out on side as well?
Precarious, dangerous
Leo gets the
game,
first
but
one, though.
It's worked well for him. Beats Twisted to the punch. Second flash does catch.
Good diligence there with the second flash as well. The first not finding anything, but Now at least he has the confirmation. Alpha's going to be heard on this flank though. Sender's still close enough. Alpha's knife out. He's thinking everybody's made their way to B site already.
So it's a 3v3. You've still got a little bit of utility as well. Destrian still had 2 smokes into play. Boaster does find Sender though. And Dirk's position is just hard to clear. Unfortunate to find.
Bro.
And Fnatic, depending
Big
on
round for
Dirk
Fnatic.
I was going to say, but just to come back, this
It's
is
them their third. They got 3 rifles still up.
Themselves into.
No.
So yeah, Durka winning that out is huge. It's unfortunate for BoneCold not to catch, I guess, full effect on the flash and be rewarded for it, but...
It's not one of those crafted entries, is it?
No.
It's just turns the pop flash. Brilliant, game on.
And the concerns have been the other rounds where it's, yeah, let's work Durka into showers, get him into a position where, you know, we want him to isolate X player in this location. Alpha's got to be scratching his head around that, though. Like I said, I was looking at the minimap thinking, Alpha's trying to make moves here, but Sender's still not completely rotated yet. So the awareness is there from Vitality.
It's a very early Viper's Pit, no?
Going to be invested this time. The ult's sitting quite comfortably with Vitality.
Tristan now on an op.
There we go. First challenge. Looks like a similar setup with the bait. Running it again. Doesn't get the reward, piece, but it's very naughty.
Nice little combo that would be able to get away from safety though.
Vitality now becoming
the
wise
slow
to
with the molly.
Yeah, I love the adjustment from Vitality, actually, where Destrian's been happy to take contact in that very position.
Going through the Viper's Pit, though, Mike, this...
I mean, 50 seconds left, still some time to establish showers control, but yeah, it's...
Do they have anything to... I think we've got the dog on Leo, flash, twist, and does catch Boaster. So now, how are you going to get yourself on the site out of shower?
Well, Molsey's boombot didn't actually spot anything, so Fnatic have an opportunity to find full access to backside, or at least a backside plant. Actually, the snakebite going to slow things down here.
Okay, that's both players seen. Molsey going to eat that flash, but time still good. 20 seconds here. Durka does get to the back of the side, but the Seeker's going to come out at the right time. Molsey now just waiting patiently. He does finally pull the trigger, swings the corner, but he gets punished on it. Chronicle and Alpha, you can't make it out of showers. This feels one-dimensional, and that's a rarity for Fnatic.
And it's actually the timing of the Seekers is perfect from BoneCold.
Think about it, that overtime was kind of big for Fnatic last game, right?
And all the change, oh my God.
Like if you think about it.
The only thing that changes this is the Seekers. As soon as the Seekers actually don't go down long to where they kill Boaster, they go back into spawn. Everybody's making their way towards A site. The snakebite then, what, it's 3 to 5 seconds it buys, but it's crucial. Because the one win condition here is Fnatic is finding a backside plant or a triple plant that's comfortable, and they can't do that.
Nope. You give
now you're
round like that, Dirk, freedom doesn't get as
shot over on the side of
absolutely
Fnatic.
Gone something for them. Let's see what we have here.
And they're going back to B.
This is dangerous. BoneCold, he's going on it. The flash was so good, but Chronicle is so much better.
I feel like they've had better success on B, but I don't get why they're going back to here. Then it's if you're
Sheriff.
Like I would have expected you to switch up when you're going with
this round looks like
a lower buyer, right?
Got that entry they wanted.
Planted.
Right?
Tristan should be. I was going to say.
Sage Orb.
We're back to the CNED days on Sage. Let's invest the res here.
Okay.
Chronicle rewarded with 2 freebies here.
Yeah.
And Sender now reconsidering his approach. Down at 600 credits, the lowest on the side of Vitality, so
got him
try
one,
and hold on to
okay.
this as best he can. I say that.
What?
We've Chronicle the pseudo ace. Third ace, inverted commas, in the series for Fnatic. And yeah, what's curious is that when you invest the res, that's the point at which you think, yeah, Sender's going to commit to actually fighting back through spawn.
Not after it's been dealt with.
No.
And
I think the only thing that would change that is if Sender has his pit and he can play a Spectre or a Judge into it, but we know that was already invested, so you have to play this one out with a Bulldog. Even Destrian the closest at 2400 to try and get a rifle back to him, but not going to happen regardless. I think actually even the problem being is light shield and only one snake.
I need to sit down for a bit. 1000%.
Fnatic now actually looking to focus this area with utility.
oh bloody hell, that's a lot coming towards Destrian. hasn't had the opportunity to back away, but still stands his ground and wins the fight somehow.
Spacing very peculiar, but Leo does find the trade now.
Yeah, okay, so that's at least Hookah now cleared. You're going to have backside now clear. Molly towards CT, so they've pretty much cornered off the vast majority of the site.
Force everybody off site.
Yeah, this is quite nice. So yeah, Plant can go down without much contest unless they try and break back through. No, not at all.
Chronicle has his ult again. Yeah, actually going to see this invested towards elbow this time. Much better spread.
Yeah, that's far more comfortable.
A little bit better.
The first to claim one, that's Molsey gone
Still
down.
the best,
Bone
though.
Cold, going to be punished by Leo. Sender not quite there in time, but now does make his time to shine. Twiston, what can you find here?
Surely not, right?
Surely not. Surely not. The wall's surely broken. Does get it to half, doesn't matter. Fnatic this time making sure to not be caught short.
Last round before the switch.
I said even early on, you think Vitality are going to come out massively on top in this half, but potentially if they still finish 7-5 short.
Fnatic doing a good job of fighting and doing what they need to do to just keep themselves in the game.
It's all riding on Durka winning that.
They did the same thing in the first half.
To really swing with him when he's satcheling into Hooker. Obviously, he's
Vitality's
just
when it got
thrown about by their satchels as well.
Back into the first half last map, wasn't it? Never mind.
So maybe set up for this snake bite towards long again, and I think previously there wasn't really much progress made up long behind it, but double stacking Hooker this time. So it looks like Vitality's answer is to actually stack numbers here.
You saw how all-encompassing the site hit was just previously. Yes, that had the ult to kind of add to it, but still, I don't actually mind them trying to adjust around this. They do get fair access to the site, though. This just makes, I guess, the retake a little bit more possible. They did go for the 3 players towards A this round, so again,
Fnatic.
And Fnatic hold this now. Doing
Got the full shield all the way around. 5v5 on the retake.
Perfect.
There's a lot of space to cover actually for Vitality.
I'm guessing you used the molly for the back tunnels, right?
Just be right here, Alpha. He could catch 2 on this one. Spots at least the foot of 1. Boaster and Durka doing well themselves.
Or
Looks like
Halls,
here comes the
however you wanna call it.
cavalry.
Nice.
There goes Alpha. The timing just gorgeous on the 2v1. Twiston,
Points out the last
he's got his
one
work
there.
cut out for him now.
2v1.
Tap on the spike, but eats the flash. Gives away the position.
Not enough
This
time.
is hard to watch. There's nothing surely he can do here.
Not
Needs
enough
to get
time.
this towards half, and he's still making a damn good
Damn, if he was reloaded.
That's heartbreaking.
I think even if he got the kill, he didn't have enough time, right?
And it's that brings us to an even half here. Very, very impressed with Vitality, actually.
Yeah, let's kind of talk that back through.
And not a lot of these set pieces are really based around, you know, Twiston finding space with that wall or really securing any space. I mean, how many times do we see it actually still available for the retake or even looking for that defuse as well?
Yeah.
So again, I mean, at least it's a big tick in the box to see Twiston perform on another agent. Sure, it's definitely a side topic to discuss.
Yeah, because it did leave us questioning things. I mean, the man is magic at what he does normally on his traditional agents, but doesn't look completely out of sorts here. You saw it brought into pretty decent effect. If anything, I'm just kind of surprised that we've seen Fnatic once again push this hard. It's a very competitive scoreline here. Vitality doing incredibly well in rounds.
Do we think that Fnatic just has the bad habit of playing? Well, I can't say playing to their team's
fantastic series
level. They've only
even
dropped
beyond
one
that.
map.
I want to see how Fnatic look now. The shoes on the other foot.
It's not like that Vitality's
the
bad,
question
right?
for me actually coming across into Vitality's attacking half is actually Destrian's value on this Brimstone.
Wow.
Again, the second layer to that being Bone Gold's ability to really support Molsey or potentially Twiston if he is going to kind of frontline Sage
It's just
in
the
some of these
fact
executes.
that Vitality
because that's the one that sticks out more to me, right? Again, the numbers here don't really
hasn't really looked great.
It's a picture for us to really dissect
against
too
better
much.
competition.
Destrian at 5 and 10, but again, it's the role that he was playing in controlling Hooker.
I mean, you can
Someone
argue
was
foot
often
esports, I
rewarded
guess.
with, a boatload of kills or anything like
But-
that. But certainly here we're looking for the efficiency.
I guess they did win against
I guess
Liquid,
the
but Liquid was
value
like
found
week 1, bro.
from him on the attack.
Even now, he lost
Vitality's
week 1.
Going to look
You know
towards
what
this
I
kind of post-plant setup again. Double controller with it being a Viper. Usually leans towards some kind of post-plant comfort, although we didn't really see that from Fnatic, who were the ones to really excel at doing that.
Yeah, almost patenting it.
Patenting.
Horrible word choice I went for there. Don't know why I've done it to myself, but yeah. A couple questions about this half of me, and especially when it comes to Vitality, is how they bring the agents in that they're on. I think you highlighted it before. I'm not certain about the whole Twiston leading the way, but if that's the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, the other question as well is actually how much value Alpha's going to get off his utility as well. It's always difficult to be a Cypher versus a solo Raze duelist. We always talk about, obviously, Raze being able to deal with that utility very well. Again, you could argue that actually maybe it plays in Alpha's favor. Maybe Molesy has to burn some of it up to deal with his utility, but when it's Raze to actually enter a site, we talk about Cypher being the hard counter for Jet.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Going back in 6 apiece here. A very close series across the board, map 1 included. Seems like it's no different, but Chronicle making very good work of Bone Cold. However, Twiston deals with it.
We literally had this talk.
Pops up the wall and makes us feel inaccessible.
I don't...
Fnatic looking to pinch through the TP very quickly as well. And it's going to be all 4 players now coming through the back lines of Vitality. Sender won't be noted with the Trailblazer. That's huge that Destrian deals with that.
I don't know how much information they have, but still, so much value from Sender. Even just to find one in that position is massive. I didn't think you'd have any, even though the Trailblazer didn't quite get towards him. However, a 3v3 now. Towards the side they go. It's Alpha to find Twiston, but the trade comes in. Destrian still being a nuisance, and does great work with the Frenzy. 1v1. Is that on enough? Boaster does damage. He's actually caught Molesy. Left in the smoke to rot. Boaster with a defuse. Fnatic pick up the first in the second half.
And there's one thing I'm curious about.
Okay.
Molesy was curious about it as well, but the placement of that trip. Again, right behind Chuck in that position, that only really confirms if Vitality push out of lamps to backside.
Pistol rounds are always so weird.
Did the molly actually hit him there? Is that how Boaster actually gets confirmation? Well, I'm sure I noticed it there on the trail from the molly of whether or not.
Yeah, actually hit him. Not sure.
But yeah, I'm really curious about that trip. Not this one. It wasn't that one.
No, that one. Okay, so round 2 here. Sheriffs, not Deagles, are out. And Boaster put down very low, but has kept his life, and he still has those smokes to invest. Just gonna be healed up. Leo called on over to triage. Any more chip damage can be done? Let's find out.
You don't actually see Boaster opting for the Marshal here. You usually do see him the focal point to farm that ultimate.
Berger
Nothing
gets
gained
one.
off the trip here. I think
those the other ones
maybe looking for a wallbang out of
there.
Lamps, but it doesn't come through.
Still some HP left.
Oh.
Bone Cold and a Sheriff, man.
There's nothing better.
No.
There is nothing better.
Such a high success rate. Leo, though, will be next. If you can find this, definitely doable here. Molesy's found one. Leo able to shut him down with the Stinger, though.
Can he keep his life? He's outstayed his welcome here. Spike's still there. Twiston can wall off CT, so that's now does get broken, so not secure. So Sender has to be on active duty. Spots out the player, gets the weapon. Not
the worst
really
of the two.
Wanted, yeah. But now the positions, what's left, what's remaining? Chronicle in a 1v2. That's massive for Vitality. Finally,
be able to win on the eco.
Look good in their hands. Some opportunities made off the back
really,
of it,
really good.
and then making the most of what they had towards the site. Score tied all even
What you need of your Vitality, put things in your favor.
Round 2 back
even though it's tied.
A massive victory. On the back of it, you got to argue.
30 seconds left.
The kill into Alpha being the crucial one to swing this. Twiston's perfect awareness. I'm worried about him bursting a blood vessel eventually.
For real, though.
If he was an older man. That's a young man's game down there.
My man is screaming.
Really high. Well.
I was curious, actually, if we do see this wall. This is the one I was talking about earlier on in the broadcast. Again, it's something now that cuts off that Showers TP a little better. Fnatic have found this kill very early on. Boaster kind of wanted that. But I think Alpha prioritizing for the neural theft here. Will reveal the lurk here. I don't know if Vitality are thinking actually 3-player show in showers. Maybe it's an A stack here. Curious whether or not actually Leo and Chronicle can find anything here. They're kind of locked out right now.
Leo's got his flash. Doesn't get it. It still wins the fight.
How? As well.
How is this happening? Vitality are crumbling, and this is frustrating for sure. Spike now down securely. Boaster, a little uncomfortable, down at about 10 HP, but he's still alive. And Destry not being given much here. And the timing's just right for Alpha. This is a devastating round, and a brilliant one for Fnatic.
Back-to-back flips. That's crazy.
Very nice.
And what, able to get 3 rifles in the
so
hands?
much pressure here. Actually smokes himself off to get it out of this cubby. I think a snake
big recovery for
comes
Fnatic
through
here.
From Sender a second too late. It's the spot there as well.
30 seconds.
So relaying that information again as he sets up, like I said, Leo and Chronicle to find something from Elbow. And you even said it, the flash didn't even catch anything.
And they still get the round. Okay, we're left in a very weird buy. 2 rifles.
Let's say mostly a Shiko round over on the side of Vitality. They do got 2 rifles.
Bone Cold on a full buy.
It's another pinch set up here.
It's so well done. This time though, they do suffer casualties.
One of the rifles you got out, and you got the spike down as well. That's so tough,
very influential here. Cuts off the TP and actually gives Fnatic full control of this area and the spike so early on in this round.
That spike could not go down.
Actually, I think Twisted and Destry both have weapons.
Why are you putting that spike so deep in to begin with?
They lose out on that.
Right?
Ton of damage coming through. I mean, Vitality at least forcing Fnatic back a little bit, but
yeah, this wall is filthy. Poster getting one away from the ult. Very nice. Making the most of the time here because Molesy doesn't have a good decision to make. There is no good choice here. And being baited on through. Chronicle.
4 rifles still up
too.
too.
Down, but the spike going down, there was the
Econ's going to start building up over on the side of Fnatic. You can only lose like 1 more round.
And I'll be honest, at this point, with how it started, this is where you do get a little bit concerned, actually. Fnatic close out this buy round. The ultimate's just about coming online now for Vitality, but again, with that back and forth, it's not in the round where you really want to have to start relying on them. They get themselves into a post plant. Orbital strikes there. Actually, Boaster will get his up from the orb retrieval here on B long.
Fast progress towards long, though. With the 3 players waiting on the other side.
Actually going to invest it ahead, just maybe to clear sight.
Let's see. Where's Destry and choose? No? Okay. Smoke instead. Maybe. Okay, spotting Leo. 1 smoke goes in, flash towards long. Flash finds nothing on the other side. Yeah, this is going nowhere. They can both evade this, and actually Fnatic taking the space back. Happy to move on up.
See, if Fnatic at least jumps up in the window.
Working in unison.
Yeah,
Vitality have achieved nothing.
Vitality have to reset because Destry is now solo.
I mean, they don't have any info. Oh, well, Cinder gets that, though.
Cinder finds an opener. Boaster looking as if he wanted to send a molly.
Vitality's still trying to figure out, though, if they want to push into B here or not, though.
30 seconds
Why aren't you pushing
into
into
B?
B?
Confirmed here. We'll at least get the stun. I'm sure Boaster did actually send it, but...
Okay, but Leo's backside. Boaster still holding on as well, playing from Cubby. Timing.
I think I would rather push
awkward, but he actually gets
forward
away
with
the kill
1 less
Destry,
player.
And Leo is just
Then allow them to also rotate over when I push in with everybody.
No
right?
time for a play to be made here for Twiston.
I think they read it as well. Leo and Dirk are both looking back this direction. Just gonna find one, but...
Real close. But no cigar.
It was actually very close.
But again, it just a little offset on the timing, and yeah, this is time to try and figure out what's been going on. Hicks is 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, they can't force. Won't be a comfortable force by any stretch of the matter. Again here, for Bonecore to make a play like that, like I said, Destrian has the spike then. So it's like, is the expectation there for Destrian to follow up, or?
Wasn't a great idea if
Big
he did.
time out here. They need to win this next round, man. Or no, this next round they're about their broken round? I mean, you don't...
opportunities now that stripped away from them after having what has been a very competitive game up against the #1 team.
Yeah, it's really kind of switched quick, isn't it, chat?
Starting to slip through their fingertips here for Vitality. Frustration probably starting to show a little. So they've hit that brick wall again. We kind of noted it in map 1. They did find an adjustment eventually, took it to OT. But
I think difference being we're not seeing some of those round victories come through that we saw on Haven, where Vitality are able to, against massive odds, swing rounds back in their favor. I'll be honest, and this one is the one that kind of makes you very, very concerned for the remainder of this half. 4-1 so far in the second half, but again, Vitality flipping round 2's kind of been the only positive.
Yes. Not much else has come through for them. And Fnatic starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. And Pacey, yes, but Molzy has been spotted.
Nice shot by Molzy.
How is he hitting those sort of shots? Half his kills, I swear, are just with the Sheriff at this point.
They look to springboard off this. We get a lot of information here. Both are getting caught
They can get on this like quickly.
Oh my god, Molzy's found another. Boast has gone down. Destrian takes over the site. Now, Durka and Alpha though. Spam close, but the plant's in. Finally something on their side. What can they do about this one? Nothing being given. A lot of utility still to play with because they just worked their way in off the site.
A little limp wristed from Durka. They'll try and slip away here. So much in the same way as actually that round 2 got flipped. This is well, you got to argue Vitality come into this not feeling the most confident, but Molzy, man, catches the team flash and then still lands that shot on Chronicle.
Don't know how. Don't know if he even really noted Chronicle at that point. Like, obviously, maybe some awareness, maybe a call, but the reaction of him being able to take him down that quickly after about a team flash? Look at this, fully blind. Comes out.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, Molzy.
One enemy remaining.
Beautiful stuff from Vitality. Like I said, the question there was actually building whether or not they springboard immediately off it. I think the Seekers is the confirmation, actually. Like I said, both are just getting caught up, but I guess at the moment.
So you do have the res available if you want to for Twistin here for Team Vitality. Fnatic
gain control, but at that
the
point,
Vipers
Molzy then just explodes with the satchels.
available.
Yeah. The pace of this map.
That gets Vitality right back in this half, by the way. Talking about them walking the tightrope in terms of the finances. It's only 3 players, yes, but they have a little bit of a buffer now.
Ah, yes. I've seen this Viper's Pit once or twice. Being controlled by Chronicle for now. Operator is out, so there's no comfortable choice here. Keep that in mind.
Oh, Durka didn't actually spot the foot of Bonecold there.
Oh my word, this is so dangerous. Decides against sticking around on that angle, falls away towards the back of the site, but they've got to be aware they're coming their way.
I think he's also conscious he doesn't want to show the operator too early.
Yep. Keeping that card close to the chest. There it is. Finally will be heard. How much damage do they take? Not massive.
So got time, 50 seconds here. Boaster's doing a good job holding down. Hold on.
Destrian's just wandered on in and just been burnt to a crisp. Spike now down. Wall's gone up, sure, but did they get the plant? No, the wall's been decimated, so they have to readdress this one. Durka.
The Viper's Pit's dropped. I mean, they still have this wall and the trap.
Still Leo here,
too. Quick rotating to B.
Oh, that's horrible. Alpha.
Oh, bro.
Catching them perfectly. Sender gonna catch Boaster, but still, this final player, Sender, the spike on the other side of the map, it doesn't matter. Leo stuck around as well.
Yo, that finish is fun.
Fnatic doing well.
I haven't even gotten to see that one yet. Or at least I haven't seen
Very chaotic. As saying, yes, the buffer was only on 3 players, but it required Vitality winning another round, stringing 2 together to actually really reap the benefits from that position. Now again with the loss bonus being reset, they actually don't get the advantage. Alpha actually still found probably not even the one you're looking for there, to be honest, but it's Twiston that has to deal with the tripwire.
Right, back to business. Trying to claw together what they can for a purchase here. 2 sheriffs, 3 rifles. Rez, Sender has got his ult as well. Viper's Pit is there. On the other side, Dirk is still with that operator in play and a full purchase behind it. Ult's not to really supplement. Yes, Alpha's got his, but a lot of weight on that man's shoulders.
Yeah, pretty much solo anchoring, and all 5 members of Vitality leaning to this side of the map.
He's going to hear the dog, but the first man to rotate will be Boaster.
Not spotted.
Oh, Lord.
Wasn't spotted from the Trailblazer.
He's getting proactive. It's probably the right choice. It's not a comfortable one, but he's actually won the
Fnatic
fight as well.
to win this round.
Out Sender, and Fnatic are there in numbers. Alpha, Boaster, Leo, they've all turned up, and Twisted
doesn't matter how much you like
He's found the first.
Reinvest, or how much you make them invest in this round. They should be able to buy in the next round here.
Away from him. This would need a miracle of sorts.
I'm gonna be right back.
Got some space to work with, but it is a 1v4 nonetheless. Operator in hand for Dirk, a showstopper available as well if it all goes amiss. But I think now with Twister making the decision to come back through the TP, it's all but done for.
Opponent's killed. I have the spike.
Curious.
18 seconds now.
Leo finds this kill.
Leo does find that kill indeed. It's 12 for Fnatic.
I'm going to have to end this thing probably as soon as this game round's done, champ.
Not interested in dealing with that long pressure at all. The variation on the Viper wall here.
I apologize for that.
This is the plan all along for Fnatic. Again, to take contact off this camera and this pinch to come through.
I just love watching Alpha's decision-making sometimes. Again, solo anchoring that site, starts to feel the pressure, knows that backing away, even after not being particularly noted, wasn't an option. Fights forward, love seeing that from him, buys that precious couple of seconds for those rotations to come in, have that little pinch from the TP, and now it's a timeout. Vitality, have you got anything for us here?
We'll see how the ultimates lie here. Again, did know Twiston having the res online at least. Yeah, now with Fnatic on 12 is a very small margin for error, or no margin for error for Vitality now. At least now with Fnatic showing a couple of different looks here as well.
So I see a little bit more depth out of Fnatic.
Yeah, but, well, very happy to at least pull out some of those set pieces here in this series. If Dirk actually relies on the again, this situation here, he's got the showstopper as well, so quite happy to play or throw the showstopper in, I'm sure. Rez and the Viper's Pit available for Vitality.
See if they get a chance to use it really more than anything. Quite nice to see Alpha back on this map as well. Currently leading the board, but it's Chronicle will be leading this round with contact. Does take it, but does slip away. So Shower will swing on over to Vitality's hands.
Pedestrian 1 closer to the orbital strike. Same wall once again, so this trap play set up. I love the way that Fnatic think about things like this in terms of retaking that control based on contact, because it means you can play this 4-man stack towards A. The contingency is just so robust that they're happy to invest behind this. Trailblazer will spot out a player, but no cause for concern just yet. And the clock actually ticking away right now for Vitality. Not really drawing out much util.
So they know they're going to have to end up here pushing in quick. They're probably going to expect A with the
flash
wall, but if they don't see a push in the next 5-10 seconds, they know things going to be over to B, but everyone's over on A side.
Yeah, but they're ready for this pinch once again.
That's what we want to see. Is it as good again? We'll find out soon. 3 players, Molzy, Sender, Twiston. Oh, and this time Alpha slips just below the cage. And actually could be in danger here. Twiston hunting it, yes he is. Alpha's gone down. The pinch this time didn't quite find the same timing on it here. Orbital strike does come in, that does deny the plant, but a new spot found. But there's the rocket going through. Twiston's been denied. He's in so much danger. Time! He's running out of time, and they have none left. 2 more seconds. They can try and fight it out, but all Fnatic has to do is stay alive. Finatic.
All right, chat, I gotta get out of here. I need to go make sure everything's fine.
Their flawless record thus far. Top of the board, but much more of a challenge out of Vitality this time.
Definitely, yeah, and I'm very impressed overall from Vitality today, honestly. Again, coming into this matchup, some of the concerns.
I appreciate everyone pulling up, hanging out. We'll be back maybe Friday.
Value, looking at the head-to-heads of where we
Friday when the Navi versus Team Liquid's at noon on Friday, so we'll probably pop live for that as long as everything's looking good. Keep an eye on the Discord if y'all ain't in there. All right, best place to hang out outside stream.
Again, if there's any
appreciate y'all pulling up until we catch y'all over for the next one. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, true, you, sincere,
and actually that's a fantastic
point you bring up,
right,
y'all. Love you guys. Peace.
Some of those composition changes, some of them I didn't feel as comfortable with, but actually looked quite good here. You could see the intention, you could see what they were going for. Didn't actually stand out as the biggest issue by any means. It felt pretty good. On a day like today, yeah,